Brisbane hosting Carlton on 7 VFL finals football from Burpengary. Alex Murkoff back into the side for the Blues. Cut his knee a couple of weeks ago. He's in, and he'll start in the ruck. Up against Henry Smith. And away we go in the cutthroat semi. Murkoff got first hands on the football. There is Setterfield, immediately taken down by Nakai Cockatoo. Interesting to see if he gets the job today.
Yeah, physical start, isn't it? Nakai Cockatoo in the centre bounce right next to Will Setterfield.
Neither ruck could get at it. Dow. The Blues, the number one contested clearance team in the competition in the VFL this season. Kick towards half forward. Ramshaw, the youngster's been really impressive the last couple of weeks, finding a niche in the side. Durden, high kick across his body. It's going to come back. The first of Jared Lyons' touches today. Won't be the last. And that's chopped off by Sincotta. He switches to Durden. Blues play a very high possession game. Number one in the comp for disposals. See if that stands up in these conditions.
And their half-back, launch off half-back is really important as well. So the conditions will test that run and gun off half-back, but they are looking to compose and use the ball uncontested here.
North to Durden. Over-possess the football too much, especially early in a semi-final.
This is Tyrese Lou, has been really impressive. Might be trying to play himself onto an AFL list. Here's Will Hayes, who did exactly that. Got himself onto an AFL list midway through the year after a great start to the season. He spots North. So this is the keepings off style of football the Blues have been playing quite effectively.
They're already 7 uncontested marks. They've chipped this ball around. That one went out of bounds on the full though. So
that's the danger. Only needs one mistake in the chain, doesn't it? And you cough it up. Tunstall inside to Lyons. And from a Brisbane perspective, Mick, they'd be happy for Carlton to chip it around as long as they're not taking territory.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll be interesting to see on the other side of the coin what Brisbane do. They're looking to do a little bit similar.
Buzzer. Nice kick into the corridor. Opens up for Riley Green. Much more direct ball movement from the Lions, and he finds Eli Smith in the pocket.
It was the Wiley buzzer switch of play, wasn't it? The transfer of play. Carlton was set up for the long down the line kick, and as soon as that ball got transferred, Eli Smith had a lot of space to access and take a nice mark.
It was a great kick, wasn't it, from Riley Green? He identified all the space was out the back. He didn't try and kick to a lead-up target. He just put the ball exactly where the space was. Let Smith do the rest.
So for the opening score of the semi-final, not quite. He's pulled it way left.
+3 conditions. Probably Brisbane kicking to a 2 or 3 goal win down that end.
Liam Stocker with a kick in. Keeps it low into the breeze. Motlop's his target, and that's easily dispatched over the line by Riley Green, the 20-year-old. Plays his local footy for Sherwood. Originally from Park Ridge and the Western Magpies. Bit of time at Southport. Started out at the Jimboomba Redbacks on the Gold Coast. Feels like I've just gone through his Facebook page, which I did.
Yeah,
that's deliberate.
No intent to keep it in, but you can see the splashes of water coming up from the pre-game Campbell Brown weather cross.
Setterfield down the line, but it's a 3-on-1. Leicester couldn't hang on to it. Here's Motlop at the back. He's got Carl forward of the football. We'll just put it out into space. Not really to the advantage of Crocker at all. It's going to be shut down by Sharp, who'll get there first. Now Brisbane can attack around the far side. He finds Fullerton.
That wasn't a great kick. All the space was out the back, and he kicked it a little bit too central, Jace.
But Fullerton's coughed it up to Durden, so a chance back the other way now for the Blues. Carl, Lou, keeps it low. Again, does Crocker no favours. Cut off again by Riley Green.
He started this game really well.
So the Blues butchering a couple of chances to go inside 50 early. Fullerton against Lou. Gets to the back. Here's McDowell White, son of Darryl White. Kicks to half forward. Off the hands of Radovanovic. At ground level, he goes in against Eli Smith. They wrestle on the deck.
If you do get that space out the back, which both sides will have on occasions as they push their forwards up, just kick it to the teeth of goal. At least that way, if it's going to skid, it's going to skid on and could potentially go through for a goal. You don't want it too central where the other side can counter-attack out the other wing.
Murkoff had the jumper held, and we'll get the free kick. Important inclusion. Off to North. Sincotta went cruising by, elected not to give it. Go for territory down the line on that trusty left boot. Well done by Buzzer. Couldn't quite hang on. Umpire said he did have enough of it.
Carlton forwards just have to play in front there. You saw it hold up in the wind. Buzzer just read it better.
He turns it over to Dow. So some iffy ball use early in the semi-final as the two teams look to settle. Hayes, Carroll, can he hit a target inside 50? Goes to the pocket. Again, does Crocker no favours. Ball still there for the Blues to at least scrap and force a contest. Pressure comes, and they've done better than that.
Both
They've won it
sides
back.
are just trying to play too precious with their ball use, trying to come through the corridor. This is wet, slippery conditions. Play the percentages, pump it long, give your forwards an opportunity at the moment. Looking for the perfect play every time they get their hands on the ball, both sides.
Conditions worse than they look on TV, and by that we mean it's been absolutely belting down all morning. The rain's just stopped, and the ground, Brownie, you're out there, it's really heavy underfoot.
That is a hell of a lot of surface water. The effects of La Nina, I'm told.
Thanks, Jane Bunn. Here's Jesse Glass-McCasker. Doesn't come off the boot at all well. And you can see there just a bit of slip. He slipped underfoot as his plant foot went down.
Both sides have had shots on goal, and both sides have put them out on the full. Eli Smith down one end, and Glass-McCasker then.
So far, this not really qualifying for name a game status. You wouldn't be calling in for a tape of that just yet. Lions, Durden over the top, punched it away. Cockatoo to Fullerton. Sharp goes for distance, but it's all Blues back there. And Ramshaw in good position to Sincotta.
Both sides at the moment able to get a +1 behind the ball. Buzzer for the Lions, and it's Stocker at the moment for the Blues.
And he delivers to Lou, who now hits the 45 kick. The run from behind came from Matt Shannon, back into the side for his 4th game of the season. Setterfield, can he hit a target? He can. And it's Brodie Kemp, who's gone forward in recent weeks and really given them a good target.
Yeah, absolutely. And he actually got the match-up of Wiley Buzzer and engaged him really well there, so it took away that +1 of the Brisbane Lions, and he hit up at the ball. Really good ball use, because a long kick inside forward 50 just would have been mopped up again by the Lions.
So Brodie Kemp kicked 2 goals, 3 last week. He's been a swing man. He's started the year across half-back, gone forward late in the season. Good-looking kick off the boot. Watch the wind grab that and rip it across the face of goal. Sharp taken down by Carl, wraps him up, umpire calls for it.
He's going to be a really important presence up forward, Kemp, this afternoon. As you mentioned, he had 6 opportunities in front of goal last week, 2 goals, 3 and 1 out in the full.
All pings around in the stoppage. Carroll couldn't find his boot under pressure. Glass-McCasker did, but also found the behind post.
Still don't have a score. Nearly 8 minutes in.
And Carlton would be really liking that with that stiff breeze to one end. If they can hold up and keep the ball in their front half, they'd be really happy.
They've had 4 inside 50s to 1 at this point. Every kick looks to be fraught with danger at the moment in these conditions. Lyons receives it back from McFadden and comes out to half-back and finds Lester. He looks inside. Green, as Brownie mentioned, has started really well. Long to half forward, but again, the Blues have got numbers back. This time that kick gets over the back of them, no. Now Stocker's got a job against Fullerton and does it so well. Gets rid of him. And Barry to the line. Good physical football from Liam Stocker.
It certainly was. They allowed the ball to get over the back. He just travelled a fraction further in the wind than they anticipated. It looked like it was fraught with danger there for a while, but great physical contact to the body from Liam Stocker.
Murkov, the ruck against Fullerton. Another hold. This time it's going to Alex yet again. Already having a presence. Ramshaw. Again, an outnumber on Kemp down the line, and this time it's Henry Smith.
It's easy pickings.
Looks inside, decides against it. Pumps it back to 50 once more. Fullerton sets himself, does well. Just edged Murkov underneath it, protected the drop zone, took the mark, moved it on quickly. Dangerous kick is going to go all the way. Opening goal to the Lions.
Tommy Fullerton just put it to the space, and the wind did the work, and it went straight to the goal umpire's shoes. Thanks to the Isuzu D-Max replay. It was a perfect kick, didn't have to launch it too much. Nice little shield by Jared Lyons, who started really well. Jared Lyons, he's up to 5 possessions, leading all comers on the ground.
He was the most dangerous forward last week. They only kicked 5. He kicked 2 of them, and that's an interesting kick from Ed Curnow.
Curnow, he's the
runner today.
He's packed to be sun smart, and he's got here, and the conditions
keep the rain off.
Are quite the opposite.
Aquay's gone into the ruck. Dow, another clearance, bounces it inside 50. Can the Blues respond? Kemp tries to control it with one hand. McFadden tidies it up. Aberley had to be quick. Run down from behind, but still got the kick to Fullerton. Didn't quite complete the mark. Dow at ground level flips it out, keeps it moving. Body work on Trudgeon came from O'Sullivan. Machete's now got to go. Lovely pickup, but questionable release from Mitch Cox. Umpire said it came loose in the tackle. Shannon's handball intercepted. In fact, it was Archie Stevens in there. They come in from all sides. That ball's not coming out.
And contrary to the conditions, the first 10 minutes of this game has been very much keepings off, hasn't it? Uncontested possessions, marching the ball up. This last little bit's just turned into a bit of a contested war.
Nice pick up from Fullerton to Cox. Uosis towards Lohman. He wants to go quickly and turn this Carlton defence around. Stocker tracks back deep. Ramshaw's there as well. Stocker gets his fist to it. Sits up for Durden. Needs to hit a target coming out. Sliding in there was O'Sullivan. Didn't complete the mark. Blues run down from behind. Look at the surface water there. Lohman, he's tackled to the line as well.
It's a matchup Carlton will have to be very aware of. Lohman for the Brisbane Lions. Very dangerous forward. Only needs 10 to 15 minutes in a match to really rip it apart.
There's Luke Power, Carlton's head of development. Former Brisbane Lion, triple premiership player. And a great appointment at the Blues. Aquay got his hands to it, as did Dow. Emerges with the football to centre field. Lovely pick by Jared Lyons. Couldn't quite control it. So Joel Trudgeon, Carlton's #1 defensive mid, have most time on Lyons, you would think, this afternoon.
Really disciplined young man. He's had a few run with roles. He's did a good job on Dunstan.
Standing alongside Tunstall at the moment. Sincotta, he's ripped off it. There is Trudgeon through his hands. Coleman, mad and lovely smother. Sincotta went hard again. Got it out to Carl. He tried to flip it forward for Stevens. Setterfield, Stevens. Hayes accelerates away. Down the wing. Can he use the football? This time he can. It was good to Motlop. Blues have got numbers streaming forward. Crocker was wide open. He goes the other direction. It wasn't the right option. And Aberley gets in the way of Leicester. That allows the Blues to pounce. And in the end, they get a stoppage.
Yeah, initially the two Blues were too keen to get the football. As we have a look at the replay, they ran into each other, and the two Lions then just said, not mine, it's yours, and opened the door for the Blues.
The smother from Sincotta on the half-back line was just superb. Set up that offensive chain.
Trudgeon just collects Will Fletcher a little high. So Ben Crocker's been out on 3 occasions so far, and they haven't hit him once.
Oh, it's going to be a tough day to hit leads, so he's better off holding his space and pointing to a spot that he wants it, and they can chip the ball there.
Well, he's been over the back calling for it. They just haven't gone in his direction.
Jesse Motlop, he's looked lively. He just probably telegraphed that kick a little bit too much.
Leicester to McFadden. Now Uosis. Lovely delivery to O'Sullivan. Luke O'Sullivan, a famous Carlton name. Green towards half forward, slapped away by Ramshaw. Aquay's got to go down and win the football, which he does, but he coughs it up to Coleman. Blake Coleman goes inside 50. Durden slides across, can't get there. Mark taken on the chest by Wilson Barry.
If you're going to concede a mark inside your forward 50, that's probably the spot. You don't mind, it's going to be wide.
So the 19-year-old from Morningside, spent a couple of years in the Brisbane Lions Academy. Second year of VFL football, game 12 this afternoon. He's had a good season in the Quaffle. Hold in 5 of his 15 games, got a Rising Star nomination. Talented youngster. To double Brisbane's lead early. Makes good contact, but was always right.
The distance was never going to be a problem, aided by a nice breeze. For the Blues, you haven't scored yet, but you'd be happy with the style of football they've been playing.
Stocker's kick. Out of bounds. Now that used to be a free kick to the opposition before you're allowed to just run out of the goal square. Now it's just considered a throw-in because you've played on.
Not a huge amount of football accessing the corridor at the moment, is there? There's a lot of wide and wings, and it is a very, very wide football oval.
Murkoff at the front, wins it, dishes it off. Carroll throws it over his head. Stevens was taken high. Tackle there from Connor McFadden. Cut the shoulder.
Pushing right up the ground, almost leaving the old Pagan's paddock out the back.
Well done, Madden. Swooping in there was Hayes at speed. Leicester slapped to the advantage of Fullerton. He throws it on the boot, but only just. Awkward one for Smith. Forced to tackle. Somehow Setterfield slipped away. High kick. Motlop's got to compete. Won't get there. And McFadden cuts it off. Goes short inside to Smith. He loads up inside 50. Revel tries to get to position against Durden. Slaps to the front for Carroll. Forces a kick, but again the line's in best position and Leicester cuts it off. There's Charlie Bowes calling for it in the goal square. Leicester heads in that direction. Lou will have to go the fist or the fly. Tell you what, Brownie, he's brave for a defender.
He certainly is. He backs himself in the air. Got terrific hands. He was brilliant last week with 4 really important intercept marks across the half-back line, and going to be important today.
Durden to Trudgeon. Just down the line, looking for Kemp. Tunstall, can he complete it? Not quite. Acquired ground level, puts his body over the football. McFadden, he's immediately tackled. In over the top comes Shannon.
And the next 6 minutes of this game, first 10 was relatively uncontested. The next 6 has just turned into a ground ball tackle, contested possession war. So both teams getting their hands dirty.
Murkoff, lovely tap. Carroll got the hands free to Setterfield, puts his body over it. Knocked down by Tunstall, gets back to his feet. Quick kick towards the wing. Aberley lays the tackle. Smith goes against Sincotta. Ball spills out. Fullerton's been busy. Picked off. And cleared by Shannon. Taken over the line through a very muddy interchange area there by Harry Sharp.
A couple of times already, Harry Sharp, his off-ball run, his ability as a winger to get back and support defensively, and on the other side of the coin, get in offensively, has been a feature on this big ground.
He's a freakish runner. Broke the 2K time trial record at the Combine by 20 seconds. Insane. Carroll, Stevens. Can they find a target inside 50? This time they can. A kick to the advantage of the forward, and it's Ned Carl who gets on the end of it.
Yeah, it was an under-pressure kick in the end by Stevens, but what he did was just hooked it off the line. Wasn't predictable and go straight towards goal, so hooked it off the line, and Carl, a smart forward, accessed that space, and he can go back and have a really good look at Carlton's legitimate first opportunity.
He's a sharpshooter, isn't he?
3-2 and 2-1 in his last couple of games. Been really important in Carlton's run to September. And it's a goal apiece at Moreton Bay.
Seven inside 50s apiece. This is the great work from the stoppage. Just got the hand in, and it's the little things that are so important in big finals. Jack Carroll was the man, kicked it offline to Carl. It's just been terrific up forward. The Isuzu D MUX replay, and 7 inside 50s apiece, Jace. They have looked threatening on occasions, Carlton. On that occasion, it clicked for him, they had some connection.
Murkoff wins the tap. Bounces past Dow, who's forced to tackle and does so willingly on Wilson Barry. Neither ruck could get at it. Lyons, nowhere to move. Well done, Carroll. Got it to Dow. Tumbles a kick to half forward. Carl in the front spot. Tries to work with Machete. It's flipped out. Cox. Aberley throws it on the boot quickly. High towards half forward. Here comes White. He's got a huge lead. As Daryl McDowell White, as I mentioned, the son of Daryl White, the triple premiership player. We know what a leap he had as Lohman attacks the goals. And Durden thumps it through the behinds.
It's not beyond players like Lohman to be having a shot from 60. You can see on that occasion the ball is travelling. That's just a great vertical leap.
He was waiting for the contact, wasn't he? And the body contact didn't come. He ended up getting a nice little falcon. But he's going to be one for the highlight reel going forward.
Stocker to Durden. His kick was poor, and it rolls out and away from Carroll.
They're up for the fight, the Blues, at the moment.
There's Jack Carroll. 6 VFL games last year, had a finger issue coming in his first season. A knee early this year, but 5 AFL games. Real promising prospect for the Blues. Another hold in the ruck contest. This time it's Brisbane's way.
It'll be a clearance to Brisbane here. They're getting really beaten up around that stat. They're only 4 clearances to Carlton's 10.
Smith goes to the pocket for Bowes. Durden puts the head down, flips it out. Radovanovic needed to be quick. Through Bowes, it's still there. Hayes got a hand on the football. Blues want to be tidy and hold it in. It gets flipped out. O'Sullivan shovels a handball to Revel. Couldn't control it. Lou puts his big frame in, taken by Cockatoo. High kick, didn't get the traction on it he wanted. Still in a dangerous spot. Stocker again commits the body. Great body work from him. Sincotta's handball made life tough for Machete. He goes off the ground. This might just work for Motlop. He'll get there first. He'll go off the deck. Sits up nicely for Stevens. He goes to half forward. Kale. Well done. Knocked away by Uosis. Carl takes Buzzer to the line.
Liam Stocker, again, that stocky frame of his, but he just knows how to use it. His timing is so good. That is a genuine 50-50 contest, and Stocker says, no, I'm making it my own.
You can really tell players are trying to keep their feet, and emphasis on keeping their feet. And on Stocker on that occasion, nice, hard and low, and he wins the football.
Carroll, Setterfield, Dow, high inside 50. Aquay's got a big leap. Off hands, Carl couldn't quite control it. Aquay flips it out. Umpire says play on, past Setterfield. Well done by the Brisbane Lions to at least get some numbers around this. Setterfield goes again. And they managed to neutralise it because it was flipped to a dangerous spot.
Tackles inside 50, repeat stoppages, repeat entries, going to be pivotal this afternoon. In a dangerous spot for the Blues.
Smith the tap, Revel the clearance, Fullerton the mark. He's only got Bowes forward of the football. He stands at centre-half forward against Durden. So he's going to look for a shorter option and gives it off. Aberley, he'll now thump it long to that Bowes-Durden contest. And well done, Charlie Bowes. Just got rid of Durden.
And he's a hard man to move as well, Durden. Seasoned campaigner.
20-year-old from Noosa did well. He sets sail for home and he slots it. Great finish, Charlie Bowes. A couple of long-range goals from a similar spot from Fullerton and Bowes, and the Lions lead by 8 points.
Yeah, terrific passage of play, almost out of nowhere. They're defending in their defensive 50. They just get a quick hack kick out, which Fullerton read beautifully, played from in front. No one to kick to except the big man in Bowes, and it was a genuine one-on-one contest there. He's just moved the big full-back, Durden, who's a hard man to move. And then he didn't panic. He just used the breeze, didn't overkick it, Mickey, and it's a lovely response from the Lions.
Just punched, didn't he? He doesn't look like too much at hassle him, the boy from Noosa either, does he? He just went back, slotted the ball, slotted the goal from 55, and just the one-finger salute.
Moved to Brisbane from Noosa last year to continue his footy. Went to the Combine last year. Didn't get drafted, playing his local footy at Wilston Grange this year. He's having a good season. 8 games, 12 possessions, 5 marks. 4 goals now.
Coached by Brent Maloney, Wilston Grange, former Demon, former Lion.
And former Cat.
Yes.
As the rain starts to fall again here at Burpengary. Cutthroat semi-final. Dow, Setterfield, off the back of the square. Beautifully worked. Sincotta, kick inside 50, not great. Might still work for the Blues. It gets all the way to Glass McCasker at the back. Was he shoved in the back? Umpire said play on. Smith, McFadgen, just kicks to space on the wing. Sincotta in pursuit. And then picks it up one-handed. Kick towards North, won't sit.
Pretty smart kick that. He just knew that if he missed his target, it was going to trickle out for a boundary throw-in. If he tries to create something, go back inboard or kick long down the line, Brisbane had all the numbers.
Brisbane forwards pushing right up. Only 2 players inside the forward 55 or so. Everyone else getting up around the contest. Here's North. Steps back onto his preferred left. Dangerous kick into the corridor for Brisbane to counterpunch. Carl arrived late to at least force it to the deck. Uosis now wants a target. Fullerton at half forward, gets past him. Important hand in there from Ramshaw. And he's now got some time and some support from Durden. Can he hit a target? He can, it's Machete. Opponent fell over, so he's away in space. Goes towards Kemp. Caught behind Buzzer. Wanted to body him. Buzzer didn't come back.
Yeah, natural forward, Wiley Buzzer, isn't he? So he's playing to the front position and reaping the rewards.
A little bit of rain falling again now. I think Brisbane have worked out. They tried to overpossess the ball in the first 6 or 7 minutes. Now they're just getting it. They're using the advantage of the wing. They're kicking it long, straight down the corridor to 2 forwards that are one-on-one. Really efficient ball movement.
Rain coming in at 45 degrees from right to left with that breeze that Brisbane have. Coleman just tumbles a kick for distance. Durden spoils from behind on Bowes, who runs in a stocker. 2 strong men right there.
Great tackle. He's been a real standout, Liam Stocker, to start this quarter with his physicality. Didn't cough the ball up as well, didn't panic.
Murkoff, decisive tap, and it's Brisbane who'll win it through Cox. Ryan Lester, high kick inside 50. Durden sets himself. Off hands, nicely sharked by Radovanovic, but he didn't take it cleanly. McDowell White goes to ground. Bowes tries to bust through a tackle. Lou bends it off the outside of his boot to keep it alive, but only as far as Cockatoo.
Looking forward to watching Nakai Cockatoo play today. He's one that's just drifted in and out of AFL sides, and a real opportunity to stand up in finals football.
Short to Lester. And then Lester, the touch kick over the top to Eli Smith. He'll bring it back inside to Tunstall. Well done, arriving late with Stocker. Got there just in time. Setterfield, he's taken down from behind. Here's a chance. Cockatoo, can he fashion a kick with the outside of the boot? Difficult in these conditions. Out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, just the 15 games in his 2 years at the Lions. 7 in 2021 and 8 this year. Never really found the consistency he was probably after since getting traded from the Cats.
Just a litany of injuries in his Geelong days. 34 games in 6 years. But his issue at Brisbane more so, rather than injury, I mean, he did have an issue last year with the hamstring, but it's been more just about being squeezed out of the team.
Pretty strong side, the Brisbane Lions at the moment. He hasn't been able to find his little niche. Good first quarter. This is a really competitive game.
Tight finals football. Winner to face Casey in a preliminary final. The loser is out. Dow on the bottom of that pack. Trudgeon feeds it back. North kept his feet. Diving in was Lyons. Just keeps it moving forward for Tunstall. Coming out to meet it is Bowes. Takes on the tackler, Setterfield.
Loves his attack. Just every time the ball is in his vicinity, he's prepared to create a contest.
Stands 190 at 89 kilos, but he plays bigger than that. It's Charlie Bowes. Trudgeon takes Lyons down. Sharp looks to draw a free kick and does.
I'm not sure the Carlton tackler could have done much more then, and he just did.
And Will Setterfield, I think, making that point. Free kick, Harry Sharp. Towards the top of the square. Plenty of numbers here. In from the side is Ryan Lester. And Carlton coach Daniel O'Keefe will be dirty on that.
Yeah, Ryan Lester, really smart footballer, isn't he? He's been around a long time. He was the spare defender behind the stoppage just moments ago, and he figured the dangerous space and pushed in and actually absorbed the Carlton defence to take a mark. So great play, Ryan Lester.
So a chance for Brisbane to open up a little break with the breeze. Great to have you with us on 7+, wherever you might be watching around the country. All our 7 VFL, 7 Sandful and 7 Waffle matches of the day are available live and on demand each and every week. Finals footy coming up in September. Some great State League action. You can see it all right here on 7+.
Goal kicker Ryan Lester. We'll have a look at the replay. as he goes in and just really nice run and launch from the side. And that replay, thanks to Zuzu D-Max. Nice finish. And Lester now is the deepest defender for the Lions. So his ability to push in, realise that he was null and void behind the ball and get into a dangerous spot, take a mark, kick a goal. Big time play.
Unforgivable though. There were Carlton defenders around that contest last minute of this first quarter to concede a mark like that at the top of the square. Not ideal.
Murkoff can't control it. O'Sullivan extracts it, gets it back, runs away from Trudgeon. Brisbane go forward again, looking to make a bit of a move late in the opening term. It's Stocker who's been impressive in the opening quarter. He releases Trudgeon. As the siren sounds for quarter time, the Brisbane Lions with the breeze. A handy late goal to Ryan Lester, and they open up a 14-point break at the first change. It's Brisbane 3-2-20. Carlton 1 straight 6 in our first VFL semi-final for 2022. He's in this second quarter. Murkoff in the ruck against Smith. Cockatoo immediately tackled by Trudgeon, so couldn't release it. Dow puts his head over the football. Tunstall going nowhere.
Tunstall so good last week, 25 possessions, 5 clearances, one of the few bright lights.
Motlop, North's handball went behind Setterfield. Cincotta in there to tidy it up, gives it off to Setterfield, who bounces it towards Dow, an awkward one at his feet. Cincotta comes powering in. Dow goes off the deck, down the line. Will it beat Madden? He'll gather just inside. Carl takes him down. Kick turnover. Trudgeon inside 50. Chance for Glass McCasker. He's got Motlop streaming past. He's got men at the top of the square, including Kemp.
He's got the journey.
And he'll go short to the pocket. Tricky one here for Jesse Motlop.
Yeah, we saw in the first quarter, Bowes score from a similar position that Glass McCasker had the football. Just kick it low and hard towards goal, and the wind should do some work. But a slight improvement in distance, but a far harder angle here for Motlop.
12 AFL games this year for Jesse Motlop, including the last 9. Really bobbed up in that final round against the Magpies. Gained some confidence. Runs around and finishes beautifully. Well, let's take you inside the Carlton huddle now. This is quarter time, and their coach, Dan O'Keefe.
Really good job for probably 20, 25 minutes of that quarter. Okay, a couple of decisions late in the quarter. Okay, and one-on-ones. The backs, you guys are going to pride yourselves on what you've been so good at for the last month in their one-on-one. So we'll see that change a little bit. We're just going to change the structure a little bit. It's going to help us. Because of this breeze, we're going to go 6-6-6 now, which means that Hazy will come out of a plumber role and we'll put Hazy back on the wing where he's best. So, Mitch, you're the one that's going to come out of that rotation and play as a forward.
A couple of little tweaks. Obviously, the game plan's just going to vary slightly when you're kicking with a 2 or 3 goal wind as opposed to defending it. And good defensive pressure from Carl working up. He laid the tackle, which forced the ball back into the middle of the ground. Turnover result, Glass McCasker mark, and a terrific finish from the sharpshooter in Motlop. Great start.
Murkoff tried to get it to Dow. It's picked off by Cockatoo. His kick smothered by North. Trudgeon against Lions. Here's Motlop involved again. Can flip it to the outside for Hayes, who, as we heard, has reverted out to a wing. He'll go inside 50. Deep penetrating kick. Glass McCasker. It'll get over the back of the defence. McFadden will be first back. Pressure will come from Carl. Good tackle on Cox. Umpire said it just lingered a little. Free kick to Mitch Cox.
They have a lot of confidence at the moment, the Blues, when they get the footy to look up and go, because they know they've got even numbers in front of the football, as alluded to by Dan O'Keefe at quarter time.
Cox shanks the kick off the fist of Glass McCasker. Lou flips it inside, pass down. Sharp to try and tidy it up. Pressure came from Hayes, flipped out into space by McFadden. Skids outside 50 for Madden. He's under the pump from Crocker. Gathers the football, gives it off to Lester, who's run down. Good strong tackle from Setterfield. The Blues hunting here. Eventually they're rewarded. Dow, Crocker, Stevens bumped to the line. There's Archie Stevens, 19-year-old from South Warrnambool. An Adrian Whitehead type. For Carlton fans old enough to remember Adrian Whitehead, 1995 premiership player. Starting sort of as a small defender, but with the capacity to develop into a midfielder.
He didn't play in the elimination final, but comes in, gets his opportunity today.
Dow at the front. And Setterfield, a fumble. Steps past Tunstall. High kick towards 50. Plenty of Brisbane defensive numbers, and the mark is juggled by Riley Green. He retreats to McFadden. And that'll be 50 because Ned Carl didn't come back off the 9 and stepped off the line before the umpire had called play on.
Just releases the pressure valve a bit. They had them locked in on the defensive line then.
So now McFadden can hit the 45, kick to the wing. Well done by North. He read it. It just hung in the air a little. That opens the door for Lou. He can go to Motlop. He'll look up and look for a target. Kick towards Carl. He stretches and marks.
Can immediately make up for the 50-metre penalty that he just gave away. I mean, this is certainly in his range. He's a sharpshooter. With this win, this is an easy kick for Ned Carl, who's got one this afternoon already.
And now Joel Trudgeon has definitely gone to a run with roll on Jared Lyons. Jared Lyons had 5 possessions in the first 5 minutes of the match, and since then, he's only added the 1 to that tally.
So Ned Carl, spoken about his fantastic season, 29-16. Chance to boot his second of the afternoon from 48 metres. Good contact, but pushed it right.
The half chances that you need to take in a semi-final, kicking with the wind.
So McFadden will be kicking back into the wind. Takes a bit of territory. Heads in the Fullerton direction. Getting across the front was Lewis. Here is Jared Lyons. Works with Lohman. Runner to the outside is Mitch Cox. Little touch kick towards White. Dale White has it. Smack bang centre wing. See the resemblance to his dad. The same leap and athleticism as well. Shannon, quick kick, was a good one. Found Durden. Carl calls for it down the line. Durden will go towards Kemp as his main marking option here. A wrestle in the one-on-one and get through to the back of that contest. McFadden flips it up. Umpire said it was a free kick in the back. Advantage paid Brisbane. This is Will Fletcher. Off to Leicester. Inside 50. Lohman will come across the contest. He'll get to the back for Fullerton. Nice pickup. He's run down by Radovanovic. Greville flips it back to Cox. He kicks inside 50. Just couldn't quite find a target. Ball jolted free in that Stocker tackle, which then lingered. And it's a free kick to Liam Stocker.
The ball came out on impact, which I don't think Fletcher would have known. He's following through with a really strong tackle. I thought
tough
that was
one, isn't it?
on, yeah.
Shannon.
Campbell Brown thinking a tackle that lasts 3 seconds longer than it should. Play on.
McFadden. Probably could have belted him a bit more too, to be fair. Is Cox on the inside. Through the hands of Tunstall. Does that open the door for the Blues? Setterfield strong in the court. Carroll likewise shrugs a tackle. Back to Setterfield. He's got a man to the outside. Not a great kick. Misses Murkov, and it's cut off by Henry Smith.
Had a bit more time than he thought there, Will Setterfield. Just could have used the outnumber with a handball, or just was a little bit lazy with the kick as well to execute.
Mitch Cox goes down the line. Finds Will Fletcher. Lead short is from Fullerton. It's honoured, and he takes it on the second juggle.
He's presenting well, Fullerton.
Go to the pocket. Awkward one for Lohman in from the side. Stocker tried to flip it to Durden. So the Lions by 7 points. We played 8 minutes in the second term on 7 VFL finals footy. This is the first of our semi-finals of the weekend and first of our triple header this afternoon. We're off to Geelong and Collingwood at the MCG after this. Then it's Freo and the Doggies tonight from Perth. Perfect afternoon to just leave it here on 7, sit on the couch and enjoy the footy. Or if you're out and about, stream it on 7+. Setterfield wrapped up by Cockatoo.
Tackles already for
Quay against Fullerton. Cockatoo stripped of it. Quick kick out of there from Carroll. Leicester. And then falling into his back was Machete.
Really important at this level to have a player like Ryan Lester in the side. He sets them up. He's like an on-field coach playing that quarterback role at the moment and intercepting and looking likely to score.
Penetrating kick. Fullerton sets himself. Can the Blues rush it out? They can.
It's a luxury, isn't it, Mickey? Get a 30-year-old with 161 games of experience out there that can play behind the footy and just see it all unfold. He's been a really honest servant for the Brisbane Lions. Ryan Lester over 12 seasons.
Fullerton and Aquay. Fullerton with strength. Aquay then wraps him up, takes him down. How will the umpires see it? Ball up.
They'll be enjoying this, though, Brisbane. Just locking the ball inside their forward 50s. It's living in here at the moment.
Chewing up a bit of time as they defend into the breeze. There's a hold, and it is going Brisbane's way.
Just a tiny little jumper tug that didn't need to occur.
So Eli Smith will have the free kick. Taken at pick 21 in 2018. It was actually the pick the Lions got in the Dane Beams deal. He's had 2 syndesmosis injuries last year, so his 4th year at the Lions, yet to make his AFL debut. Chance to kick his 8th goal of the season. Really handy one into the breeze for Brisbane. And he just hangs it right.
He was running away from goal into some congestion, so just a nervous jumper tug. He's lucky to get away with it.
Stocker to Glass McCasker through his hands at the back. Motlop. He's got Crocker down the line, hands it off. Carroll is a left footer, gets back onto that left, spirals it down the line. Buzzer playing in front. North at the back can just go off the deck. It was really clever to Glass McCasker. Opens it up. Carl's got to stand and wait. He knew the heat was coming. Blues try to keep it alive. Glass McCasker off his chest.
James Madden looked after Carl just then. It was a hospital hand pass if ever I've seen one. Maybe the Irishman just did a little favour for little Ned. He should have ended up in East Burpengary.
I think we are. Might be the ocean east of here. Trudgeon, buzzer, Smith. Stocker stands underneath it. Lohman over the top. Fullerton at the back's been good. Handball was a little bit hot for Cox. He gave it off to Revel. Back to Mitch Cox, but Aquay's going to stick to the task. Well played, Dom Aquay. Umpire says play on. Revel slides in, lays a tackle.
I'm loving
It's
that
ferocious
Dom
finals
Aquay.
footy.
Not just that tackle, but he laid a big one earlier in his defensive 50. He's got the athleticism, he's got the vertical leap, but that's the sort of stuff that you love to see from the part-time ruckman.
Tough from Mitch Cox to get up. You saw he landed pretty heavily there. Bowes gets boot to ball. Lou puts his frame in front. Setterfield against Lions. Lou in there. Setterfield holds it in.
And right now, Aquay, who's had a big couple of impacts, hasn't touched the footy, but has laid the 3 tackles. Murkov and Aquay are just going on and off from that ruck position.
This time it's Murkov. Got some really emphatic hit-outs. Smith across his body, and North well positioned. Thought about the kick inside to Hayes, but it had a high degree of risk. Towards half forward, Carl. Big pack arrives. Hayes a slight fumble. Steps through some traffic. Glass McCasker looks to slap it on. White. Kick to the wing finds Coleman. Came from Uosis. Coleman's got a wide switch on. He'll set that up to Buzzer. He wants to go straight down the middle. Looks for an option. They've opened up the forward 50. Punched away by Durden. Gets to the front. Chance here for Brisbane. Opportunity from Leicester again. Heads goalward, but pushes it slightly across the face.
He's playing as a defender, but he's had more shots on goal than any of the forwards at the moment. Ryan Lester just working his way up the field with the ball.
He has. I feel like the 2 most impactful players on the ground at the moment playing halfback. So Leicester for the Lions and then Stocker for the Blues.
Sincotta goes long and wide to Hayes. Hayes down the line finds Stevens. Got a runner to the outside. It's Will Hayes who kept on running. He now delivers to Carroll. Good ball movement this from the Blues. Can they get it into their forwards quickly before Brisbane can get numbers back? Carroll's kicking the Crocker and Motlop direction. Skids on. Good result at the end for the Blues. It's out of bounds.
Better than going through from behind. They can try and lock this ball in, structure up defensively. Give some of their mids a little bit of a spell. They're working tirelessly at the moment in really tough conditions.
Last McCaskey, you could see, just tried to feed it over the back for Carl. Madden got there first. Radovanovic stands underneath it. A It's slapped away from him by Barry.
And they've really loosened up the 6 outside the forward 50 rule when there's a throw-in at this level. That's a rule that was implemented earlier this year. Jared Lyons played a lot of AFL footy this year, was standing about 40 from goal, and the umpire actually ushered him back himself. So I think the rules may just be shifting out the door with that one.
McDowell White slaps it out. Sharp. Off the hands of Sincotta, taken by Lou. Into the path of Dow and out.
Little arm wrestle at the moment between these two sides.
Merck off the tap. Dow, another clearance, tries to find Carroll. Good pressure from Sharp, broke it up. And then O'Sullivan's handball slapped out by Setterfield. Let's head boundary side, injured line. Carter Michael joins us. Carter, thanks so much for your time. What was the messages at quarter time from Mitch Hunt?
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. Yeah, Heine just said that the boys started off really well. They just spoke about getting the ball forward in these sloppy conditions, and I thought we did that well in the first quarter. Offensively,
last week you were really well held, just the 5 goals. What's the talk been during the week to try and give yourself a few more looks up forward?
Yeah, Brownie, I think our main focus for us is to just get the ball deep inside 30, and then from there we have good tools that can bring it to ground and then good smalls that can get to work. So I didn't think we did that well enough last week.
Yeah, Carter, talk to us about the role of Ryan Lester. It seems like he's a playing coach out there at the moment behind the ball.
Yeah, no, he can do anything for us. He's been going through the midfield this year as well, so we can do anything. So yeah, he's been a great player for us this year.
Carter, thanks very much for your time. We appreciate it. What's the story with your injured wing?
Yeah, the wing's going all right. It's been 6 weeks. Me and Tommy are getting there. We started running last week. See the surgeon on Monday and should be out of this sling.
Oh, best of luck with it, mate. We look forward to seeing you back out there.
No, thanks, guys.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So it's Brisbane by 9 points. Midway through this second term, the Blues have got the breeze, but at the moment not able to use it. Eli Smith throws it on the boot, and a chance here for Brisbane to attack.
It's good to hearing him talk about inside 30s, not inside 50s. Clearly last week they didn't get it in deep enough.
Fullerton's handball picked off. Here's a chance for the Blues to come the other way. Stevens off to Stocker. Glass McCasker sets his feet and then keeps them as Buzzer goes to ground. His handball not to the advantage of Motlop. It was slapped away. Motlop will then try to flip it to Crocker. It was clever. He tries to backpedal, does successfully. Buys himself some space to get the kick away. High inside 50. Off the chest there of Carroll. Play on the call. Carl feeds it through. Can Motlop find some space? Here's Machete. Blues trying to get a look. Machete does get a look and kicks the goal.
Terrific front half pressure. They got the ball in there, they just willed it in. It wasn't perfect footy in the wet. Benny Crocker got involved, got his first touch of the day in the Maxis Tyre replay. And the tackle that stripped Uosis was the thing that kept the ball alive. Machete was magnificent in his finishing, but that's the tackle there from Carl, who's been really lively today. And a really sharp finish on the left boot there. Keeps the Blues in touch, their second of the quarter.
It's been hard work. They've kicked only 2 goals of the term. So the 14-point deficit they had at quarter time has been reduced to 3. As we head towards time on second term. 7 VFL finals footy. Great to have you with us. Murkov tried to take it from the ruck. Carroll does so. Flips it in the Setterfield direction. He gets past Revel and releases a handball to Sincotta. Bouncing football towards half forward, coming out to meet it to Quay. Ricochets, trudging inside to Carroll, off his left boot. Can he find a target? Just over the head of Kemp. Frustratingly so, it skids through for a minor score.
They've really turned it around, haven't they, the Blues? And I think it's gone back to that 6 in front of the ball structurally for them, the one-on-ones, and they look more dangerous, and there's no real drop-off from the Brisbane Lions defence.
Kick in the cockatoo direction. He looks down the line. Bowes comes out to meet it. Well done, Stocker. Read it well, got across. Gave Michael Lewis some defensive coverage.
Yeah, he's just played a terrific defensive game. Stocker, every time there's been a contest there, he's halved it or won it. He's set the tone physically, and when you're playing the role he is, it's not always about stats and numbers.
Murkoff against Smith. Another tug of the jumper. Umpire didn't spot it. Lions a fumble. North. There is Stocker again. Working hard was Tunstall. Slaps it in the Dow direction. He dives on it. Could be in trouble here.
Lingering.
Gone.
Yeah, the umpire lingered as soon as Dow hatched it. Jared Lyons used all his experience to bottle that one up.
Mitch Cox. Well done, Ramshaw. Nice gather. Coleman from the angle. Blake Coleman just across the face. And well done there by Matt Shannon to get it to the line. The younger brother of Kitty Coleman. What a talented family they are.
Great forward craft, wasn't it? He read the flight of the ball really well. Didn't overcommit past the contest. Stayed front and square and got a shot on goal.
Bowes off his hands. Sincotta takes territory. Oh, buzzer collects his teammate Riley Green there. You can hear the slap. Madden taken down. Kemp, the fall-away handball. Well gathered in by Carroll. Hasn't got a lot to kick to, so he'll go by hand. Dangerous one into the middle of the ground. Setterfield goes to the voice. Links up again with Dow. It's touched off his boot. Over the head of Buzzer. Here's Aquay. Can he find a teammate? Falls to ground. Trudgeon, it's socked away by Buzzer, who slides to the line. Umpire says throw it in.
He just made sure that the slide was there so they couldn't ping him for deliberate, I feel. We knew the intent, but really good bit of defensive work there for Riley Buzzer, because his fitness has improved since we saw him years ago playing for the Cats. He now works really high up the ground.
The Moreton Bay Sports Complex in Burpengary, about 40 minutes north of central Brisbane. This is a cutthroat semi-final on 7 VFL finals footy. And it's the Lions by 2 points, entering time on second term. Murkoff to go against Smith. Murkoff been dominant in the ruck. Off to Dow. He's off balance as he kicks it. And if there's been a knock on Paddy Dow, it is his kicking efficiency. Granted, Brownie is often under pressure as an inside player, but going at 48% kick efficiency for the season.
Yeah, and that's, you know, when you're going through the midfield, your better ball users are trying to be elite. He's terrific in the contest. He just needs to get that efficiency up a little bit higher, be more damaging.
Aquay gets it to ground, spills in the Kemp direction. Buzzer puts some body pressure on and then tries to rip the football in. Machete just busts through. Stevens stripped of it. Blues trying to surge it forward. Cox taken down. Aquay runs over the top of it. Machete sliding in was Cockatoo. Takes the legs. And it's a free kick for Mitch Machete. You can go back and kick his second for the term.
Yeah, really silly there, wasn't it, behind Nakai Cockatoo? Desperation, yes, but the method has to be better in the wet conditions. You know they're going to be red hot on this rule all the time, but in particularly wet weather.
So Mitch Machete, 18-year-old from Phillip Island, captain of the Gippsland Power last season. Really impressive youngster.
Didn't look good off the boot at all then. Just stabbed at the footy.
Wasted opportunity for the Blues, a chance to hit the front. It's a one-point game. They've hauled back in this margin that Brisbane opened up in the first term. That was their chance to get their noses in front. McFadgen. Hayes stands underneath it. He gets to the back for Fullerton. Bouncing ball towards the wing. Radovanovic against Lyons. It'll spill in the Durden direction. He commits the body against McDowell White.
Really like the game of Tom Fullerton. He's getting up the ground, isn't he? He's working as a hybrid forward. He's a big player in terms of that aerial threat in the front half, but he's got the agility and the versatility to get up the ground and present. He's up to 9 possessions along with his goal.
He moves well for a 200-centimetre man, doesn't he? He was an All-Australian footballer at under-16 level, then went and played basketball before returning to footy. Hayes spun in the tackle, releases. Dow doesn't get full purchase on the soccer. Uosis. Cox tries to get away from Shannon, can't do so. Well played, Matt Shannon.
Well, he's got the leg here as well, so another opportunity. That's poor marking. The Brisbane players, they folded back. Exactly what Mitch Hart told them not to do then. They were guarding space and not necessarily dangerous players.
So these are the moments for Paddy Dow when he's finishing.
Absolutely. So getting a truckload of the footy in the contest, and this ability to find ball in time and space, go back and show a bit of class.
Had a great year at VFL level, 830-plus games. He's kicked 15 goals, 9. To put the Blues in front or level the score. He hits that one superbly. Doesn't quite get it there, though. And scores are tied.
Half the job done then. The accuracy was there. It just didn't quite have the journey.
Wiley Buzzer uncertain of his option. Really uncertain of his option. Kemp smothers it off the boot and then applies no pressure. Oh, and he's been pinged.
Well, there's a big call.
It was pretty smart from Brodie Kemp. He didn't actually go at Wiley Buzzer.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the replay here. Great forward pressure by Kemp, and Kemp just stopped, turned.
That's a fair call. Yeah. You know, he could have easily kept that ball alive.
Kemp went to play on umpire said, I'm still setting the mark. So direct pressure is the wording, and he wasn't really under direct pressure. Yes, there was a player there, but he wasn't coming at him. It was smart by Kemp, and he puts the Blues in front.
All of the numbers at the moment in this quarter are relatively even, but the game's been played in the front half for the Blues. Brodie Kemp up on the mark, great smother, and Wiley Buzzer probably thought he was under more pressure than he was, and a really nice finish thanks to the Maxxis Tyres replay.
He didn't. He got bluffed because he thought Kemp was going to come charging in, which he usually would do, but he actually just pulled back a little bit.
So Carlton up by a goal as we head towards half-time in this cutthroat semi. Fullerton flips it out. Handballed forward. Cincotta first back on it for the Blues. Stocker couldn't quite control it. Ball in dispute. Carroll. He's bumped out of the way by Cockatoo. Fullerton goes in. Shannon gets boot to it, but it's all Brisbane out this side, and Sharp can take it on his chest. Drives it low and flat, looking for Coleman. Spoil over the back. Here's Lohman front and centre. Hit the wrong side of the football. Glass McCasker. Setterfield's handball misses a target. Well played Shannon, went back and made it good. Gave it off to Trudgeon, his kick sails wide. And not so handsome, Brisbane ball. Well, he's bananaed that off the wrong side of the boot. Instead of the snap, it's gone the banana.
And he had Brisbane players all alone in the goal square, so all he needed to do was get enough contact on it to force it forward towards a teammate, and he absolutely butchered it.
Lions back inside 50. Big pack of players. Smith got a piece of it. Fullerton again, so good on the deck. Off to Coleman, who bounces it through. Scores level once again.
Great goal from Coleman, but the two Carlton players that had dropped off the contest, they didn't really put themselves on the goal line. And that's where they needed to be. They might have got a hand to that bouncing ball. They were in no man's land. Blake Coleman, just a smart bit of football from the stoppage and a really important late goal to level things up here at Burpengary.
And isn't Chris Fagan over the fence? He's getting involved over the fence, but just moments ago it was Blake Coleman who got to a really good front and square position and had a shot from the pocket. Small forwards, they've just got to keep showing up to the predictable spots. He got to the chest of Tom Fullerton, who's having a big game, and a really nice finish by Coleman.
Fullerton's contest again in that pack. Competed in the air, then won it on the deck and fed it out. Scores level once again. 2 seasons on the line. Brisbane coming off a 49-point belting from Southport. The Blues back-to-back wins over Collingwood. Preliminary final awaits one. Murkoff slaps it forward for Carroll to run onto. Lohman takes him down with a tackle. Ball released. Dow goes off the deck, gets good distance. Important punch in there from Kemp away from Lester. Motlop put his body in. Glass McCasker goes to ground, flips it towards Kemp. He couldn't control it. It's fed back out to Lester. Quick kick towards half-back. It's Cincotta versus Cockatoo. Hayes a fumble. Setterfield lurking. Cockatoo tackling and rewarded. Cincotta says, well, he had me in a headlock. I said you weren't doing enough to release it.
And it seems about right at the moment, 28 apiece, the scores are level. And it was Brisbane in the first quarter that got to work and dominated, and Carlton have had a really good quarter this quarter, so both teams taking advantage of the wind.
Hayes with the tackle on Barry, then Lohman does likewise on Ramshaw.
There is some heat and physicality. The tackle numbers are starting to creep up. 32 for Carlton, 29 for the Lions. The first part of the game was relatively uncontested. There's just going to be no option but to really buy into the contested side of the game as of now.
Murkov again gets fist to ball. Sliding in there was Cox. Dow in over the top of it. Scrapping hard. Brisbane win it out. Quick kick from Aberley was under pressure. Goes to North, who rides the tackle. He knew it was coming. And Nakia Cockatoo takes him down. Hayes didn't like the treatment.
He's getting involved, isn't he, Hayes and Cockatoo? So there's a bit on the line. And
I think he thought he might have been kneed or kicked as he was on the deck. Here's Dow, they pile in on top.
Just dropped the knee into the numbers of North, did Cockatoo. Not a great look. I don't think it was overly forceful, but the look wasn't great.
Murkov down to Hayes. Kemp can't quite get there. Two Brisbane defenders spoil each other. Green through the hands of Aberley. Motlop ran straight into Uosis. Ball still there. Umpire said high tackle, and the Lions will escape through Riley Green. Leicester receives the advantage. As we hit the 31-minute mark, second term. Wet conditions at Burpengary. Hayes wins the football, flips it back in the Stocker direction. Can the Blues be clean? Here's Setterfield. 12th touch coming up for Setterfield. Dow's had 15, as has Carroll. High kick inside 50. Kemp will fly from the back. Carl at the front, immediately tackled by Leicester. Is there time for the Blues to pinch a late one and grab the lead? Glass Macassar against Fullerton. Cox on the deck. Off Glass Macassar. Fletcher takes it to the line.
You think both teams just looking for that half-time siren to get in, reassess, compose themselves and go again.
Murkov and Fullerton. Murkov back towards the boundary, then slaps it again. Won't get as far as Dow. Mitch Cox cut it off. Lohman's kick was smothered. Motlop lurking. Players go to ground. It's a free kick, Carlton, for a hold. So another opportunity here for the Blues late in the term. It's going to Jack Carroll, who's had a fantastic first half.
He's composed, isn't he, Jack Carroll? But on the other side of the coin, we see Lohman walk away a little bit disappointed with the high tackle, but he put his team under pressure by a lazy kick inside, dying stages of the quarter to open up the door for a Carlton opportunity.
So Jack Carroll for the lead. Any score will do. Up he steps from inside 50. Pushes it across the face, and Brisbane prevent the score. So at half-time, we are locked together at 4-4 apiece. A spot in the preliminary final is on the line. Good quarter from the Blues. They kicked 3-1 with the breeze. They trailed by 14 points at the first change. They've eliminated that, and the scoreboard really does reflect the contest. Nothing in
quarter of action.
Our third quarter brought to you by INC Sports Nutrition, available at Chemist Warehouse. 2 seasons on the line, 2 quarters to decide who makes it to a prelim final.
If you're Dan O'Keefe, I would have just been drumming into my players through the whole half-time break. This is just going to be a war of attrition here. We don't need to score, but as long as we prevent Brisbane from scoring, stoppages, play percentage football, don't take too many risks through the corridor, eat time off the clock.
Familiar face running for the Blues. Ed Curnow got the job this afternoon. As we start the second half, locked together. Who will progress to a preliminary final? We're about to find out. Murkov, advantage by the bounce, and the umpire will therefore bring it back.
It's a great anti-climax, isn't it, that? The first bounce of
Would you get rid
game
of
or
the
the
bounce?
half?
Or would you
No,
keep
it's
it?
tradition, Jace. You can't.
Then what the hell are you
It's
complaining
unique.
about? Murkov comes over the top, wins it, spirals it off the hands of Stevens. Toe poked out of there by Madden. Cockatoo leaves it behind, then runs into Murkov, who sticks the tackle. Dow goes hunting the football, been really important. Off to Carroll, who's also been great for the Blues. Out into space for Carl to run onto. Tries to paddle to his own advantage, but Sharp gets there first. Carl gets rid of him. High kick from Leicester. This should work, although Stocker arrived late to force the contest. Carroll's buffeted off it, and the Lions win that scrimmage. Kick down the line. Durden tracks it back for the Blues. He'll be happy to take it to the line. Doesn't do so. Run over the top of it. This allows Coleman a little bit of time and space. Durden corrals him, then smothers it off the boot. Can't control it. White, Coleman, still lurking. Hayes comes across. Doesn't infringe. Still there for White. Hayes goes again. It's flipped out. And Radovanovic by hand. North by foot. High one, wide one. Brisbane ball.
And Brisbane had numbers wide. Mitch Cox had held his width really well on that occasion. All the Carlton numbers attracted towards the ball, so they scrapped and clawed. This is actually a good result for them.
It's Luke O'Sullivan. No, not that one. A different one. Not the former Rhino. This one's come from local leagues. Punched away. Front and centre is Eli Smith. Ooh. Misses to the left.
There too. It was good work by Big Murkov. The ruckman worked back to the last line, got a good fist on it, but perfect front and square work and pushed it wide.
Stocker's kick not great. He was looking for Ramshaw. It's cut off by Nakia Cockatoo. We've already seen a couple of goals go through from this area so far today with a little bit of breeze at the back.
He's been okay today, Nakia Cockatoo, hasn't he? They're sticking with him around the footy. He's won 7 of his 9 possessions in the contest and a chance to go back and hit the scoreboard.
So this for the opening strike of the third term. It's not going to come back. In fact, it's sliding further away.
It's probably the only knock on Stocker's game this afternoon. He's taken a couple of kick-ins and he's missed them both.
Tyrese Lou looks around the post to see Stocker there, but decides, look, I'll be a little more conservative. Maybe not. Oh boy, now he's got himself into a bit of trouble. Manages to get past Fullerton. It's going to come back. Henry Smith has it. Dan O'Keefe in the Carlton coach's box. Probably just scratching his head. Smith back towards the top of the square. Some pushing, shoving at the back is Fullerton. And that Tyrese Lou decision to play on is going to cost the Blues a goal.
They've been really good. Tom Fullerton, he'll probably go pretty quick here, Jace. I'll hand it back over.
Indeed.
Have a look at this entry on the replay thanks to INC Sports Nutrition. Really poor in the air, wasn't it, by the Carlton defenders. Just pushed underneath and really good craft by Tom Fullerton. And went back and kicked his second. He's been really good.
What's the message from Dan O'Keefe to Tyrese Lou?
Yeah, I think it's just swim between the flags when deep in defence in these type of conditions. So young player learning his craft, isn't he? His upside is enormous, but just understand the situation a bit better, longer and wider.
Murkov in the ruck. So a good start here for Brisbane. They're back out to a 7-point lead with the breeze at their back. Murkov gets the tap, was trying to lay it down for Carroll. It worked out well. Much better than the centre-field kick did, although that'll work for Stocker. Not exactly how they drew it up, but in the end it'll work. Towards half forward, Kemp was taken down. Stevens fell across the top of it. Hayes was buffeted off it as well. Throw in. So goals into the breeze, hard to come by this afternoon. 7 to the left of screen, 2 to the right. Murkov to Carroll or Dow. It's the latter who gathers. Off to Hayes. He's pressured and pushed towards the line. Carroll floats in from the side. Setterfield goes to the voice of Stevens, who keeps it alive, bends it inside 50. McFadden tries the don't argue on Dow, who takes him down superbly.
Terrific. He just locked onto that arm. Incorrect disposal, and gives him a chance to go really deep here.
18th touch for Paddy Dow. Goes looking for Kemp, who almost hauled it in one-handed. All Brisbane at the fall of the ball. Socket in the Lohmann direction. He leaves it for Leicester, who just takes territory and spirals it on the breeze. It's Lou versus McDowell-White. Lou caught behind. White's got good leg speed here. Can Lou work into the line? Doesn't need to in the end.
Kemp needed to be Odell Beckham Jr. to haul that one in with the 1 mitt.
Gave it a good chance.
Sticky glove, it helped.
Yeah, that's right. Getting on top in the clearances, Carlton, but they're not really efficient clearances.
Cockatoo will get it forward. Opportunity here for Brisbane. Lohmann, he's gang tackled.
Certainly not walking through the front of the clearances, getting clear space in front of them and going forward. A lot of the kicks from Dow and Carroll are high up and unders.
Sort of get up, and you can understand why. That was a lot of humanity collapsing on top of Kai Lohmann there.
Oh, yeah.
On a day like today, in these wet, slippery conditions, it's been a tough physical contest, and we've got plenty still to come. Dow links up with Carroll, gets it back, tries to bend it in the Crocker direction. He soccers it forward. Sliding in was Bowes. Crocker keeps his feet. Now he's taken down. Wins the football, emerges with it. Off to Shannon. He kicks straight into his opponent, so it ricochets to Smith, who feeds it through to Bowes. Shannon gets a piece of him. Smith, he's taken down by Setterfield. Ball out, scrapping from the Blues.
Crocker getting very well held this afternoon. That's just his second disposal for the game at handball. Getting worn like an absolute glove. Taj Aberley.
Produce his X factor in this second half, the Blues, if they're to progress to a preliminary final. Mitch Cox did well. Put his head down, won the football. Stocker stands underneath this. Coming across was Radovanovic. Murkov against Fullerton. Murkov slaps it out, was looking for Hayes. Sharp got there first. Carroll puts his head over it. Fullerton again somehow emerges with it and gets boot to ball. Well played, Ramshaw. Fortunately for the Blues, Crocker was in the best position. Setterfield couldn't quite get it to him. It's still there for Crocker. He's wrapped up by Cox. So often you see that quick dump kick out of defence go straight to an opposition player, but fortunately for the Blues, Crocker was in front.
Yeah, he positioned himself well there, just didn't take the basic chest mark.
Murkov and Fullerton. Carroll again. Shannon bends the kick across his body. Well read, well marked by Bowes, who's been impressive.
Yeah, Kemp's just got to find a way to bring that ball to ground.
Bowes thumps it on the left. Durden sets himself, elects not to mark. Danger here, it's Coleman, he links up with McDowell-White. He bends it to a dangerous spot, it floats across and it floats through. Wonderful goal. First goal in VFL football for Daryl McDowell-White. His dad, Daryl, played 3 flags. His brother, Will, plays basketball for Australia. Daryl himself, 3 years in college with the Masters Mustangs in California. And in February this year, started training with the Brisbane Lions. He's a Cat B prospect to go onto their AFL list. And that was a lovely finish.
Defied logic, didn't it? Or defied the physics of it all, the goal. But great front and square work again by Blake Coleman. I think he's been terrific in the forward 50 for the Lions. It's a great goal assist.
You don't get many better goals than that.
So pressure on the Blues now as the Lions look to make their move. Jared Lyons soccers it forward. Hayes to Stocker. Carlton need to hold. Madden. Cuts across, Aquay takes the grab, and Brisbane look to maintain the pressure. Well done, Stocker on the mark. O'Sullivan on clean-up duty. Back to Madden, who did well to pick it up on his bootstraps and then slipped over. Sharp couldn't keep it alive, but dangerous period here for Carlton. Brisbane with the breeze. Couple of early goals, and it's a handy margin.
It is, and it's all ground ball gets at the moment for this quarter. 6-11 the way of Brisbane. So when the ball's hitting the deck and spilling outside of the initial contest, it's the Brisbane Lions getting to it.
Lions just bust through here with strength. Lohman in good position, couldn't hang on to it, but on the deck he collects. And Lewis spins him to ground.
And then inside 50s for the quarter. The Carlton side has only had the one, whereas Brisbane have had it inside 6 times. So just ground position, putting the Carlton backs under big pressure.
Durden. Blues need some time in possession and ideally a goal of their own to claw one back. Hayes. Fullerton in good position, didn't complete the grab. Kemp finds his boot. Can he find Carroll? He can. Slips a couple of tackles, make that 3. Well played, Jack Carroll. The kick wasn't all that good, but it'll still work. Glass McCasker off to Kemp. Blues get a rare 4-way forward, just overcooked the kick. And Uosis worked the angle to get back, although Carl takes him down and won't be rewarded.
And that's all they need to do, the Blues. They were outnumbered on the wing. That long kick back into some space. Fortuitous at the Lions defender, who read it well, dropped the mark, but just want to hold territory here.
Leicester taken down, but his kick still finds Smith. Thought about the give to the runner. Instead, he'll take territory down the line. It'll clear Durden. It'll get to McDowell White.
Open goal square if he wants to wheel and go.
He's 65 from home. How's the distance on his kick? He does go for home. Lou gets back into position.
Oh, what a grab!
We talk about Tyrese Lou being bold in defence and always going to mark and not spoil, but on this occasion, could cost them a goal.
That
Will
is
Fletcher.
As good a contested mark as you'll see. Will Fletcher had all that space to work with. Look at this, in between 2 Carlton defenders, and Lou, you just got to spoil that. Double fist, do whatever you can to bring it to ground. Terrific mark, though. Now he must finish, Fletcher.
Brisbane making their move at Burpengary.
Have a look at the entry kick. It's just been a weight of possession for the Lions, and Tyrese Lou the opportunity to spoil from behind as we have a look at the INC Sports Nutrition replay. Front position is forward. It's your best friend. Give yourself your best opportunity. Goes back very casually and kicks the goal. They're out to 19-point lead.
The deep forward 50 entries is the key, though, for Brisbane this quarter. They're getting it deep. They're putting pressure on the Carlton defenders.
Blues will get a clearance here through a free kick for a hold on Setterfield. So now Carlton need to step up and answer here. The margin out to a dangerous 19 points, still with plenty of time left in the quarter.
Yeah, they need to find some uncontested marks. They haven't had any this quarter.
Madden takes this one. He's off and running. Brisbane looking to put them to the sword here. Madden goes deep. It's Durden versus Buzzer. It'll get over the back. Radovanovic will be first one back. And in the end, it skids all the way through for a minor score.
Once he took off, James Madden, they were never, ever going to get him. He broke the all-time AFL draft combine 20-metre sprint record. Lightning is the Irishman from Dublin. 2.69
seconds, which is about the time it takes me to get out of my recliner, let alone run 20 metres. Durden. Here's North.
That's their first mark of the quarter for the Blues, 15 minutes into the third quarter.
Away from the back. Gets it to ground. Carroll and Carl can't quite combine. Uosis taken down. And we've spoken about the amount of first possession that the Carlton midfielders are getting, but it's just not being impactful right now.
Yeah, there's no genuine tag on the Carlton mids, but they're putting work into certain players, putting them under pressure when they get it.
Carroll's looking dangerous. Can the
dominance
dominance
of like that, Chase, you know, scrubby.
Yeah, Setterfield, Dow, and Stocker getting plenty of the football. Carroll as well, but it's just not clean right now. And here's Leicester. Brisbane really flexing in this third term. Oh, they called that a mark and then changed his mind as he dropped it. It was the right call in the end, but a little confusing. Coleman coughed it up. Shannon gets it back. Motlop has gone out of the game, albeit with limited opportunities.
They're just struggling with composure at the moment, Carlton. You mentioned they've only had the one mark, so they can't get their hands on the footy. All their possessions at the moment are under pressure. They're just hack-kicking it forward, and the Brisbane Lions defence, they're structuring up perfectly behind the footy, taking intercept marks and then counter-attacking with this wind.
I know the Blues do like to play that uncontested style of footy, high possession sort of game. Kemp, here's Hayes, now Motlop to Setterfield. Some of their AFL listed players getting involved. Good pressure on the kick from Smith. It might still work for Ramshaw. He can get away from White. Flips a handball to no one in particular. It's going to come back the other way. Here's Madden again. Brisbane just looking a little surer with the football. That kick misses everyone. Lohman there to clean it up. Make it good to Revel. Now Sharp's away and running. He can kick to half forward. It'll get over the back. Here's Lou. He gets run past. It's taken by Fletcher. Well done, Tyrese Lou. Runs him down. Buzzer looks to keep it alive. Soccer's off the ground. It's still there for Tunstall. Can he find a target? Lohman spins past Trudgeon, then runs into North. And in the end, scrambling defence from the Blues. Durden's down and sore. Carlton just hanging on.
Yeah, clutching at that left ankle as well, so I'll keep my eye on that.
A mark to Machete. See Durden in the background on his haunches, just hanging onto that ankle in the back pocket. Kick towards Kemp and out. Really good third term so far from Brisbane. Scores were level at half-time. Carlton kept goalless so far. Brisbane have added 3 goals too to open up a 20-point lead as we head towards time on.
Charlie Bowes, who did some nice things up forward, he's now playing centre half back on Kemp.
Burkhoff to Sincotta to Dow, back to Sincotta. Across the body, Uosis punched it away. Setterfield and Trudgeon look to combine. Setterfield again will be closed down. The pressure from Brisbane just collapsing the pocket on the Carlton midfield's been excellent.
Yeah, it is. Both teams at the moment have got genuine 6 forwards ahead of the ball, so Dan O'Keefe and his coaching crew must be thinking, OK, we need to get the ball in our front half and give ourselves a chance to score.
So Sam Durden still looking sore. Maybe it's just a corky there. He's sort of rubbing at that hip thigh area. This is Henry Smith. Durden about to be tested out as the ball floats inside 50. Radovanovic came across the front of the contest. Trying to keep it alive was Barry. Got it to Tunstall. Danger for the Blues. Coleman. Here is Durden. Slaps to the support of North, who was clean. Now he needs to be by foot. Awkward kick to a 2-on-2. Setterfield's got to go. It'll get over the back. Might work here for the Blues. Trudgeon. Can he get enough to get it to Crocker? Spoiled from behind. All Brisbane on the deck. McFadgen delivers inside 50. Late pressure, but it was illegal from Lewis. And another opportunity here for, this is Wiley buzzer, and a chance for Brisbane to really open up a handy lead.
And he'll back himself in here, having coached Wiley. He's a pleasure to coach. Anything within 55, Jace. Turns the back. I'm going back and having a look at the big sticks.
He's kicked 99.57 in his VFL career, so his conversion rate's pretty good. This for his 100th goal in the competition. It'll be a really handy one. And he slots it through. Brisbane on the march. Four unanswered goals in this third term as Carlton coach Dan O'Keefe joins us boundary side. Dan, your midfielders are getting their hands on the footy, but Brisbane seem to be doing a great job collapsing in on them.
Yeah, their contested footy's going really well for us. I think we're up in ground balls and tackles for the game, which is what we set out to achieve from a midfield group. But it's probably a bit more about forward as well, trying to set the field up and get their positioning right so we can retain it in the forward half rather than shooting back out.
Just the 2 marks as well this quarter, so you can't really get your hands on the footy and maintain composed possession.
Yeah, we've got to respect their pressure a bit more, and that's part of driving our legs through tackles, not just coughing it up and being able to control the game a bit better.
Is there anything you're looking to do, Dan, with a player like Benny Crocker to get him involved in the match?
It's the wind's picking up, so hopefully the next quarter he can kick a few for us. It'd be nice.
Message to Tyrese Lue. We know he's got such flair as a defender. A couple of times in this third term he played on and then he didn't punch from the back.
He's a young player. He's still on an AB League list, so that's part of being really talented, but also part of learning the game and growing. So he's got a really bright future, and we'll back him in.
He's had a fantastic year, hasn't he?
He has. Back after he's been great.
So you've been very resilient as a team, Dan. What will be your message at three-quarter time?
We're going to take the game on, there's no doubt. So we understand what we are as a team and what we stand for, so back that in, and it's the reason why we're here and playing finals footy, but we're going to attack the goals for sure. We
appreciate your access and insight. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks to Dan O'Keefe. There's Sam Durden just getting some work on that hip. Copped a corky in that contest about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, great message from Dan O'Keefe. They've got to take the game on, don't they, and look to score, and he's got full faith. The optimism of him and his group has been profound all year.
So, Mickey, I guess the question is, how do they take the dominance or the first possession dominance you're getting from the likes of Dow and Setterfield and Carroll around the football and make it count?
Yeah, exactly right. I think the stoppages they've won and just surged forward and made it really messy. They've looked most dangerous. At times, the overhandball, that first possession and flip it out via hand isn't as effective as just a kick forward in these conditions.
Because Murkoff is getting first hands on the football probably 75% of the time.
Yeah, he certainly is, and on occasions he's just slapped it forward as well, trying to take territory. I suppose that clearance dominance that they have had on occasions, in the last quarter, you can start to take a few more risks, chain out, try and chain out the front of a stoppage rather than just kick it forward.
Aberley, good fist from behind this time from Lou, gets it to the boundary line.
And we saw last week, Q1 against Collingwood for Carlton, they went 5 goals to zip. So they've got it in them in terms of scoring really quickly off the back of really effective work around the ball.
It's Brisbane in control by 26 points. The Blues will have the breeze in the last term. There's Murkoff again going with a fist that goes nowhere.
Yep. So right now you just want to saturate this stoppage with numbers, get plenty of players around the ball. You're desperate not to concede one late. And your forwards, they're all pushing right up. You can see every Carlton player in the Brisbane Lions half of the field.
Murkoff gets it to Setterfield, but Leicester sweating on him.
So they won't mind this, the Blues.
Buzzer got the tap on this occasion. Dow fashions a kick on the outside of his boot. Coming out to meet it was Kemp. Ricocheted back inside 50. Slicing through was Revel. Did really well. Couldn't quite get past Murkoff. Smith runs into Stocker. Has to release. Sincotta quick kick. High up and under. Glass McCasker comes to meet it. Punched away by Smith. Ball hits the deck. North's taken down by Revel. In fact, it's Carroll.
Yeah, what Carroll did really well there was he didn't allow the ball to come out. He identified quite quickly in that contest that it was a 3v1 Brisbane's way. Stoppage was the best result.
Murkoff's tap almost pinched by Smith. Murkoff then flipped it in the Hayes direction. Barry taken down by Hayes. Dow was slick. Found Motlop. Carroll was set up though. Here's Leicester through some traffic. Kicks to a dangerous spot. Radovanovic in best position. Coleman did well. Got it to the deck and then laid the tackle on Radovanovic, who's got nowhere to go. Ball still there. Almost a chance for Brisbane to get a shot at goal. Blues need to be clean. Lou throws it on the boot. Bouncing football. Brisbane have got some numbers. It'll come back to Eli Smith. He gets a look and makes them pay.
Costly possession by Carlton earlier in this passage of play that the overuse. They've been under pressure a couple of times. They're trying to flick the handball out, and then this kick, clearing kick, just not effective enough. Brisbane set up really well behind the ball. Eli Smith, just the calmness. You can tell that Brisbane do train in these conditions a fair bit. The wet weather, even when it's humid and slippery, the ball gets really heavy. So their ability to acclimatise to conditions today has been super.
And if Will Fletcher took possession of that ball, he gets tackled. So really smart paddle to his teammate for the best finish possible.
Dow, Carroll, McQuay, Sincotta. Come to the outside for Shannon. Can the Blues make something of this clearance? A rare inside 50 for the term, but not a great kick, and it's picked off by Cox. Just 2 marks for the quarter still, Carlton. The entire term, they've taken just 2 marks.
Which means every time they've got their hands on the footy, it's been under pressure. Around the clearances, in general play, they haven't been able to take time off the clock.
Whereas Brisbane here can set the tempo. This is Madden at half-back, receiving from McFadden. Will go long down the line, well read by Ramshaw. Clever mark. So 13 inside 50s for the term for 5 goals for Brisbane, so they've really taken their chances and put the Blues to the sword. Crocker having to work all the way up to defensive 50. Takes a grab. Spears it low and hard to Shannon. It needed to be flat and get there quick. It was a great kick.
And the Lions defence and midfield have just folded across. No space anywhere here.
Shannon will go down the line. Glass McCasker gets to the front. Nicely read by Machete. They'll take some territory down the line. Umpire's going to ping him. That's harsh.
Yeah, he built up the speed, the umpire, didn't he, Jason? Once that happens, it's curtains. Free kick.
That's pretty harsh. Front and centre Crum.
Yeah.
Throw it on the boot. Take some territory. If the ball happens to spin the other way, it's a clever kick. McFadden goes down the line. Here's Lou attacking it again with a good strong fist.
Well, 5 goals this quarter for the Lions, none to the Blues. They desperately cannot afford to concede one more. Brisbane have showed that you can kick goals. Carlton will be kicking with the wind in the last quarter, but 6-goal margin, that might be a bridge too far.
McQuay, here's Motlop and Carroll at the back. Off to Shannon. Crocker on the wing, wrestling. He's been well held all day. Barry does the work on this occasion. Here's Dow again. Went to the voice of Trudgeon. Gathered by Crocker. Links up with Setterfield. Trudgeon's going to be set up and hammered by Lester.
There's the pressure. There's the pressure, the inferred pressure. As soon as there's a handball from Carlton at the moment, that's the cue for Brisbane to close them down and lay those type of tackles.
Fullerton went early. Slapped out by Trudgeon. Motlop hunts it on the deck. So the upside for Carlton is they are getting first possession, which means if they can tidy up the inside to outside, they can score quickly. But right now, Brisbane just preventing them from doing that.
And the upside as well, no influence at the moment by Crocker. Motlop's been quiet, so they've got some real match winners to come into this game, and they could take their 15 minutes and really turn it on its head.
Just as Brisbane have done in this third term.
How smart was that?
Really clever, and it found Smith. Using the space, using the angles well, Brisbane, just creating width. Something Carlton haven't been able to do much, particularly in the third term. Madden wants to get it and take Sincotta on. He knows he's got speed. Cockatoo and Carroll. Sweeping in was Mitch Cox, did really well. Emerged with the football. Can he hit a target inside 50? Not quite. Stocker under pressure again. Shannon, likewise. Goes out to Dow, a fumble. Puts himself under a bit of heat. Just got to find a way to hit a target. They can't, and as a result, another stoppage.
And they're just the little things. Paddy Dow's been terrific today. 27 disposals. He's leading all comers on the field, but just needs to get that part of his game, a basic handling error coming out of your back half. He doesn't fumble that, and the Blues, they're getting a stoppage on the wing or the half-forward flank.
Quay and Fullerton over the back for Sincotta. Here's Carroll again, peeling away from the congestion. Good pressure came from Sharp. The little things Brisbane doing well. Hayes will get there first. Coleman looks to try and shut him down. He's definitely got the speed. Brilliant from Blake Coleman.
And ahead of the ball there, as Hayes picked
Plays
the ball
on,
up.
runs on. Sorry, Mickey. Delivers it inside 50. It's punched away. Smith. Radovanovic. Hayes. High kick. Standing underneath it, Carroll. Gets a free kick.
Yeah, Hayes got the football. His first look was back. He could have looked up. He was under pressure, but if he looked up, he had one-on-ones ahead, and he could have just forced the kick forward to try and create that one-on-one into a positive play.
Kemp, Ramshaw. Last McCaskill, can the Blues get one back? As Brownie said, it'd just be so important for their confidence, their belief, and their chance to come storming back. Last McCaskill goes high and long. Setterfield will come over the top of Fullerton. Front and centre was Trudgeon. He's pushed in the back. Here's their moment.
And Leicester pleading with the umpire. He knows just how important that moment could potentially be. This is a must. They just have to go back and kick this. Trudgeon, and not a lot in that. He fell forward and Leicester couldn't do much more than he did.
Biggest kick of the season for Joel Trudgeon. He's kicked 4-7. What an opportunity here for the Blues to get something back late in the term. He steps up and he slots it through. Big goal, Joel Trudgeon.
Well, that gives them something. That gives them some hope going into three-quarter time. A minute to go on the clock here before the three-quarter time siren. They know they're going to be kicking with a 2 or 3 goal win in the last quarter. They're going to be more aggressive with their ball movement. INC Sports Nutrition replay. Ryan Lester's played the perfect game, just infringes ever so slightly there. And Trudgeon, who's been great this season with his grunt work, his tackles, he's been given some big responsibilities this year. Did a great job on Luke Dunstan a few weeks ago. He's played on Jared Lyons today. Goes back and kicks a really important goal.
14 touches for Lions. Dow's had 27, Carroll's had 27. McFadden and Leicester 18 apiece for Brisbane. So 2 defenders lead the way for Brisbane, 2 midfielders for Carlton. Murkov, could they pinch one more? Dow inside 50, final minute of the third term, spins inside, socket on by Kemp. Dow comes at it again, takes his man down. Sharp had to be clean. Trudgeon, Carl, Bowes got in the way. Carl in over the top, Madden there as well.
Yeah, that hand in from James Madden was really important because Crocker got on the outside there. Carl tried to get the ball to him. They've got to hold on for dear life, the Lions.
Murkov down to Setterfield. Cox the clearance. And the Blues get it back in. Radovanovic. Fullerton got there first. Good result for Brisbane.
Just the last minute or so, it's just about surging the ball forward. They're looking really dangerous, and when it's on the ground, it makes those defenders for the Lions that have had big days very vulnerable.
Blues need a clearance and a kick inside 50 to get into position, have one last launch. But Brisbane could do likewise from this position. Who wins it? Back to the line. The Lions will be happy with that. Clock ticks past 33 minutes. Margin sits at 26. It was level at half-time.
Not insurmountable if you're a Blues supporter sitting at home.
Murkov again against Smith. Trudgeon almost ran onto it. Well done, Smith, to control it. Back to Cox. Kicks to the corridor. Hayes will go back with the flight with great courage, then wins it on the ground. Tried to paddle to the advantage of Shannon. It'll come out in the Fullerton direction. Radovanovic tries to shut him down. Still time for Brisbane, but Smith's kick. You can hear his frustration. The Blues will be happy to settle for 26 points. There's Henry Smith looking sore. He's got that left shoulder heavily taped, but it's the right one causing him some trouble at the moment. Great quarter from Brisbane. They take a big step towards a preliminary final. They kicked 5 goals to 1 straight goal with the breeze, but the Blues will have it at their back in the final quarter. Brisbane 9-6-60, Carlton 5-4-34, the Lions by 26 points as we turn for home in the semi-final on 7 VFL Finals footy.
Going down Carlton's way, left of screen. It hasn't picked up, but it certainly hasn't dropped off. They need a big quarter from Crocker. He's been their leading goal kicker all year. He's been really well held today. 5 touches, hasn't had a shot on goal. If he can bob up and kick 2, they're a chance.
Brisbane with 1 foot in the preliminary final as we start the last term. Carlton with the breeze. They need early goals, just as Brisbane got a couple of early ones to really give them that momentum.
Brody Kemp starting at centre-half back.
Interesting as Murkov gets it forward, but again doesn't connect. This time it's Leicester. He's wrapped up by Dow, and again we see Leicester start in the middle.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, it's Lou that's gone forward. So just the flip between Kemp and Lou.
Trudgeon, he's gang tackled. And as we heard there from Mitch Hahn, stoppages are a friend, boundaries our friend, take your full allotment if you get a set shot.
Yeah, and he implored the players to continue to surge the football though when they get it in hand. Don't try and be too cute because it worked for them in the third quarter.
Carroll, he's tackled by Leicester as well. Ball released, Trudgeon. North wanted his left, back to Carroll, who will also want his left. Gets onto it now, spirals it inside 50. Who's on the end of this? Motlop. Can he weave some magic, give them the spark they need? Tries to take on his man. Well done, Abilene.
And that should be holding the ball.
And it is.
He didn't fall for the candy that Motlop was trying to sell then.
Taj Abilene delivers and finds Henry Smith.
Terrific defence.
With that sore right shoulder, got some treatment at three-quarter time and will continue on. So the Lions will be happy to hug the boundary line and play slow football, take the speed out of the game. Kemp, you can see Fullerton was happy to slap it to the line. Coleman on the bottom of that pack. Stocker's trying to extract it. Picks it up now, puts the head down, can't get past Eli Smith. So the onus now on Carlton is to make something happen.
Absolutely, and Jesse Motlop, that's good. You got caught, no worries, but he's going to have a couple of moments like this quarter where he can turn the game on its head.
Murkoff needs to connect and get those clean stoppages. Oh, that's going to hurt Paddy Dow. He's come through swinging the boot, and all he's taken is his Brisbane opponent. He's got up a bit sore. Here's another look. Oh, yeah, they're the ones that can break your leg. So fortunately, great to see Paddy back up, wins the footy. Gets it to Carroll. Tumbles a kick inside 50. Here's Motlop at the back. This time he lays tackle on Abilene. Takes him to ground. Holds it in. Umpire calls for it.
He might have had a case for being held there, Motlop, but Abilene and Motlop, that matchup looms as a large one for this last quarter.
Glass McCasker and Smith. Smith got the tap in the Leicester direction. Glass McCasker follows up, but can't prevent the kick, and it's perfect. Pitch is just in line.
Man, he's paid deliberate. You couldn't actually do that deliberately without probably putting it out on the full. So they can reload here, the Blues.
Stocker delivers it inside. It's punched away from Glass McCasker. Trudgeon kicked a goal late in the third term to give the Blues some hope. McFadgen, that'll be out again. And Blues will get it back one more time.
It's just poor umpiring because he was actually getting tackled as he threw that on his boot here in a wet, slippery day. And if you're going to pay it deliberate every time the ball goes out of bounds, you're going to be blowing the whistle a lot in this last quarter.
Hayes thumps it long to the square. Might have too much on it. It did. It was just a little bit too deep and easy for the defenders to kill. Minor score to the Blues, pressing early in this last term, and as we mentioned, as Brisbane did early in the third, Mickey, when you've got the Brisbane, you can get those early goals to really get some momentum up. That's what Carlton need.
Absolutely, and that was halfway between having a shot and going on, so you just need to put it to a really dangerous space. 15 from goal is a good spot.
Dow receives from Kemp, gives off to Sincotta. Another inside 50 for the Blues. Over the head of Glass McCasker. Motlop at the back. Here is Crocker. Can he weave some magic? Desperate from Green. Motlop picks it up. There's Abilene again. Great run-down tackle. What a battle that is.
He's just not allowing him an inch at the moment, and you just can't afford to. Terrific tackle again. 5 inside 50s in the first 3 minutes of this quarter for the Blues.
Smith, nice tap. Sharp throws it on the boot. To a one-on-one. Smith goes hard. Here's Tunstall. Steps away from North onto his left boot. Coming out hard at it was Sincotta that opened the door for Ramshaw to get it to Dow. Lou, can he get on the end of it? Here's Carl at the back. McFadgen gets there first, steps around him well. Just spirals it long and wide. Sincotta's got to stand and wait as Buzzer arrived late.
Just got to be careful there, Wiley Buzzer. A good intent, but it might have just been just misdirected.
Sincotta, generally a thumping kick. Gets a fair piece of this one. The long bomb in hasn't really worked for the Blues this afternoon, and Uosis slides over the line.
7-0 inside 50s in the first 4.5 minutes of this quarter.
Blues need to find a way through.
I don't think the Lions have got the ball forward of centre just yet in this quarter.
They're chewing up time.
Yeah, they are, but it's just leaving here in the Blues forward line.
Last McCasker, awkward bounce for Carl, couldn't control it. Madden finds his boot. Here's Dow. Another big moment for Paddy to go back and finish.
Yeah, absolutely. For Paddy Dow to position himself really well there. He just gets himself to smart positions, knew the numbers were going to be all around the footy, and he was all alone. Can go back and bring this within 20 points.
Big kick for him, for the club. He had a sider from about this distance in the second quarter and it got touched on the line.
It's 9:30 plus game. They need him here to step up and score, and he does.
Big goal for the Carlton Footy Club. 7 inside 50s. The ball had been living there. The Thirsty Camel replay. Paddy Dow with the chest mark. Goes back from 40 out directly in front. He's been huge today. Disposal efficiency a little bit down, but it's a scrubby game. 32 touches, 18 contested possessions, 12 clearances, 7 inside 50s, and now a little bit of cream on the cake with the goal that keeps the Blues in it.
Back to 19 points. Very manageable with plenty of time. Murkoff puts the pressure on Smith. Can Carlton get a little surge of adrenaline and momentum here? Trudging in over the top of Smith. And from a Brisbane perspective, Mickey, what do they need to now do for the next few minutes?
Well, they just need to get their hands on the footy, don't they? It was Carlton that couldn't get any composed possession in the third quarter. And now it's absolutely Carlton's turn to be the offenders.
Madden fumble. Carl just gets it inside 50. McCasker couldn't control it. He'll go again on the deck. He's got a runner. It's Trudgeon. He's surrounded. Carl in there lurking. It's flipped out. Motlop lays a tackle. Went high on Bowes. Umpire said play on. McDowell White couldn't control it. Sock it out. Ball still in dispute. Working hard with Shannon. Comes out. Here's a chance. North. In fact, it's Carroll on his left. It was touched off the hands of Lou. It'll spill over the back. Cox got a kick away just in time. Kemp tried to control it on the deck. Did well. Sincotta on the left. Wastes the opportunity.
Pretty smart football there from Kemp, not to try and bend down. He used his feet to the advantage, and another forward 50 entry. Pushed wide, but they can lock the ball in.
McFadden will hug the line. It's a floater. Is it out on the full? It is. So the Blues continue to turn the screws. All Carlton so far in the final term. North, inside 50. Can their forwards join the party? Off the hands of Glass McCasker. Spills, good tackle laid, and will be rewarded.
They've really upped the ante with their forward pressure. First it was Motlop. This occasion, Joel Trudgeon, who just... that's his DNA. That's why he gets a game each week for Carlton. Really important goal at the end of the third quarter for Trudgeon.
These are the moments you find out about the composure of youngsters.
And he's going to go kick around the body here.
Kicked a vital one in the third term to give them some hope. This to really give them some hope. 13-point margin, but he's just tugged it left.
Just a fraction skinny. They need to take every chance they get, especially set shots 30 metres out.
3 straight kicks. Get the feeling the Lions might just need one. That might almost be enough. McFadden. Uosis. Now Mitch Cox. Some time in possession required here for Brisbane. Aquay attacked it. Sincotta will just launch it long with that thumping right boot of his. Will it get over the back for Motlop? It'll actually spill to the front. Hayes attacks it. Carl there as well. Ricochets out. Here's Archie Stevens. Flips the little handball over the top. Dow, clever sidestep. Trudgeon taken down. Flip to Lou. Tyrese gets a look. He snaps goalward and misses. They're inside 3 straight kicks.
They're on world record pace for inside 50s in a quarter. That's 11 inside 50s at the moment. Every time it's coming out, it's just going straight back in.
Brisbane holding on for dear life at the moment. Lou's gone forward. Kemp's gone back. Nearly worked.
McFadden short to Wilson Barry. And now the psychology is fascinating for the Lions. Suddenly they're the hunted. Off the hands of Fullerton. Aquay getting involved. On the deck, it's fed out by Hayes, but only as far as Mitch Cox. This will float high and wide. Lewis will get there. That's a really good mark as Buzzer came thundering towards him.
You be a bit bolder with your ball movement here. Yeah,
He does
like
bring
that
it
kick.
inside.
It's good. Opens the game up.
It's all McFadden through his hands. Carl at the back, bends it goalward, bounces it and hits the post. The Blues are pressing.
Oh, that was brilliant work. It looked like it was going to skid through, and it's bounced and gone left.
Got to find goals, though, because Brisbane will get their look, you would think. And that's slapped away by Shannon. And just the scoreboard pressure, the difference if they can close into single digits.
1 goal 4 for the quarter.
Yeah, your point's well made, Jason. If they take one of these opportunities, it really tightens the screws.
Suddenly Brisbane do start thinking about having the extra number back and go into complete defensive mode. Right now they're still sitting on a 16-point lead. Whilst it's uncomfortable in general play, the scoreboard still well and truly in their favour. Durden, Hayes has some time. Support is Kemp. Bustled off it by Lester, who does really well to force a contest. In fact, he wins the contest. Does enough. Now it's slapped in the Lohman direction. Picked off by Carl. Carl will get it back inside 50. Crocker sets himself. Punched away McFadden. At the back is Lou. He slides goalward. Good effort, Bowes. It's still there. Trudgeon versus Madden. Madden gets there first. Coughs it up. Quick snap. High ball.
Another behind. They might do this in behinds, Jace, the way they're going. 13 inside 50s. 1 goal 5.
Are the Blues kicking themselves out of it?
Getting some looks.
McFadden. Carl has just got to compete against Fullerton and does. So they're doing everything right but the finish. Ned Carl a little sore.
Statistically, 33 possessions to 25 this quarter of the way of Carlton. So Brisbane are getting possession, but it's all from their D50.
We saw there a nasty roll to that left ankle as he landed awkwardly. Quay gets to the front, went looking for Setterfield. Shannon coming the other way. Can Quay get there? He can, but Smith will bundle him out. And you can see Ned Carl still sore.
Ball still hasn't been in Brisbane's forward half for the quarter, and we're 12 and a half minutes in.
But 1-5 tells the story. Almost halfway through the last term. Carlton pressing but wasteful. Can they find the target and really turn the screws? Setterfield, Shannon, run down by Revel. Stocker goes to ground. Dow wins the football a second time. Finds Stocker. He's got a lot of traffic to deal with. Somehow he gets through to Trudgeon, but he's immediately tackled. Umpire said high against Lester.
They're going to go in again.
They'll get another look. Inside 50 to Crocker. Well, it's time for their key forwards to step up and take control.
And this man, senior player, been on 2 AFL lists, played a hell of a lot of VFL footy. That's their first clean entry where they've got a mark inside 50. The rest have been from snaps and shots from really tough angles. The Paddy Dow goal was a nice set shot. This one much harder, but Ben Crocker, this is your moment.
Tricky kick. He'll almost have to put it up towards the top of the square and let the wind just take it through. On its way. And another miss.
1 goal 6.
So 16 shots to 15 in favour of the Blues, but they trail by 14 points. Radovanovic at the front. Durden takes Buzzer down.
And Buzzer's gone into the front half for the line, so some positional changes on the magnet board of Mitch Hahn as well.
Feels like if Brisbane can get through and score one against the grain, they could just about put it to bed. So the Blues, not much margin for error as McDowell White taken down. Whereas if Carlton can kick the next one, they start to get a bit of a margin for error. Brisbane could kick one back and they'd still have time. But they need that next goal to be close enough to allow Brisbane to maybe just sneak one and still have a chance to run them down. Fullerton's tap, stolen by Trudgeon. Inside 50, dangerous spot. Motlop at the back wrestles. Crocker there as well. He gets that goal they needed. It's an 8-point game.
contested possessions going all Carlton's way. They're +8 for this quarter. They're 15-0 inside 50s. As we have a look at the Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops replay, Ben Crocker, he was going to loom large. We asked Dan O'Keefe what would we expect from him. With the wind, he's going to come into the game with some opportunity. 15 inside 50s is that opportunity.
And just trying to evoke a bit of emotion. He went straight up to his direct opponent, McFadgen. Got up in the face of a couple of young Lions. He's trying to inspire his side. He was never going to miss that one, Benny Crocker. He got goal side of his direct opponent.
Winner progresses to face Casey in a preliminary final. Loser is done for the year. Lovely bounce, Murkoff the tap. Here's Dow again, emerges from the congestion. Gets another inside 50 for the Blues. Glass McCasker, Lou, offhands to the pocket. Crocker versus Bowes. They both go to ground. Crocker wraps it up. Umpire will call for it. In fact, he'll ping him. Free kick, Ben Crocker.
Jeez, Benny Crocker could be the man. We've seen it before, Jason. He's kicked 4 goals in quarters.
Jason, that's very forward.
He's done it all on this occasion. Look, Bowes is the man. He went to ground, but he was immediately set upon. Very, very harsh umpiring decision.
You know there's excitement in the game when Campbell Brown emerges from his seat and he's up for the last 15 of this one.
They were desperate for a centre clearance, the Lions, and again it was Paddy Dow that delivered the inside 50.
This to make it a 2-point game. He's going to go with the banana. It's a 2-point game.
I demanded he kick a couple of goals, Jason. He was listening.
Mickey Barlow, you're the coach amongst us. Ben Crocker's got the hot hand, has kicked a couple, and now he's on the bench.
Yeah, keep him out there. The rotations more might say one thing, but it might be overruled by the head coach. He's just come off, get him back out.
Been working desperately hard. He's been involved in the last 3 scores for the Blues. 2 goals and a behind, and they need a clearance more than they've ever needed it for the season. Right now, the Brisbane Lions just get the ball in their forward half, give their forwards an opportunity to lock it in there.
16 inside 50s to 0 in this final term. Extraordinary.
Been an onslaught, an avalanche.
Murkoff wins the tap. Can the Lions get a clearance? Trudgeon's got his hands on it. Fullerton at ground level tries to get it out. It's smothered off his boot. Here's Dow again. Pokes it towards half forward. Carl will get there first. Will it sit for him? It will. His handball over the head of Sincotta. Opens a door maybe for Brisbane. Tunstall, Aberley. His kick hits Lohmann, but it'll sit for him. And they get it inside 50 for the first time. It goes over the top and Durden cuts it off. Important mark.
At least they can defend from here. A slow play. You don't need to be doing anything silly if you're the Blues now. You've eaten into that margin.
Machete, and the conditions now as good as they've been all day. It's dry. Gives the Blues a chance to chip it around a little bit and control the football. This is North. Bites off a kick on the 45. It's a good one to Sincotta.
Which is on.
And now the run from behind is Stocker. Draws some traffic. Handball not ideal for Machete. He's forced into a quick kick. Lou stands underneath it. Fisted inside 50. Carl lurking. A receive from Glass McCasker. Heads goalward. Chance to put the Blues in front, but misses.
Oh, that was a golden opportunity. He spat forward on his direct opponent, and that would have given him the lead.
He's kicked 1-3, Ned Carl. Leicester has it. Psychology now fascinating for Brisbane. They know they need to score, but at the same time, the natural instinct is to just defend with everything you've got. This is Revel. This is where the Blues need to be really on song, though. This is the time they might just give one up, and that could give Brisbane that little burst of belief and confidence. This is Smith to Leicester. A little bit of time in possession.
Yeah, so what they've done now, Brisbane, they have gone to that 7th defender, but it gives Carlton the 7th defender at the moment as well, which I think they would really like, because if they turn it over, they've got the momentum and use the outnumber and go.
So Bowes, Brisbane go into preservation mode. Great grab over the top. It's what they needed.
He's the spare at the moment, Brodie Kemp.
And the Blues, conversely, will be happy to try and spread it open up the game a little more.
I mean, a good coaching move to throw Brodie Kemp back. He's got great hands and he reads the footy so well.
Stocker's kicked his sails a bit on glass. McCasker, it was really important to slap it forward. Gives Machete a chance against Green and he takes him to the line. So we enter time on final term. Cutthroat semi-final. It's the Lions by a point. They led by 26 at three-quarter time.
Benny Crocker back on.
Carlton have kicked 3-7 in the final term. Brisbane haven't scored. Murkov, nice tap to Shannon. Setterfield, Dow. Heads inside 50 again. Lou's going to have a couple to beat in the air. Did well. Got a contest and then at ground level lays a tackle. Brisbane will get it out through Barry, but only as far as Shannon. He's got Motlop at the top of the square, one out. Carroll. Crocker now leads to the pocket. That's a wasteful kick from Jack Carroll.
It's a really wasteful kick. You want to be putting that to the top of the goal square. It's a really dangerous spot. That's not playing percentage football.
They've looked all at sea, the Brisbane defence, when it's gone to that 15-metre from goal spot.
Bowes goes long. Way over the top, Stocker through traffic. Carroll will get another opportunity, gets onto his left. This time, he squares it up a little more. Green comes across the front and belts it to the line. Pressure continues to rise here.
20 inside 50s to 1 for the quarter.
Right now, Brisbane only have 5 players outside their defensive 50, so this should be a free kick to Carlton.
3-7 to no score.
The umpire ushered him back, so I think the rule's gone.
Carl, here's a chance to level things. Oh, scores level.
3 behinds in this quarter alone. Carl, the sharpshooter. They've all been pretty tough opportunities.
Play on the call. Leicester work to the line.
So scores level here. The draw is not off the table, which we haven't done one in a final, Jace. This VFL opportunity we've had over the last 6 or 7 years.
No, closest was when Ben Lennon kicked after the siren in that 2017 grand final. Leicester on the top of that football as we hit the 22.5-minute mark. Last McCasker wins it down. Setterfield sweating on it. Carl there as well. And there's Henry Smith. We saw him at three-quarter time or just before it, really grabbing at that right shoulder. He's bravely pushed on, but he is in awful pain. And that one was just, he didn't even get his arm up and it caused him problems.
Yeah, it's affecting his ruck work now.
McDowell White. Kemp worked under it by Buzzer. Cincotta at the back. Stock has been enormous. Looks inside, runs out of options. Cincotta again, goes to ground. It's taken high. Was it a push?
It's a free kick for high, but
he got pushed into it, didn't he?
Because Coleman was coming in and he slipped.
And Aquay pushed him into it.
Cincotta. So they can drive the ball back in for the 21st time of the quarter and try and wrestle back the lead, which they haven't had this half.
Cincotta drives it low and hard and flat, and Lou couldn't quite hang on to it as it came sizzling towards him. Defensive handball towards the line, and Shannon takes it out.
Spoke to Dan O'Keefe before the match, and he spoke about his group just really harnessing the momentum of being in the finals and enjoying it, and it's coming through, isn't it? That they're playing like a side with nothing to lose and enjoying it for what it is.
You can't afford to give your forwards any time and space here. Oh, great tackle.
Hayes bolted over the line.
See, touch and feel here as a defender. Pushing him towards the boundary, pushing him towards their non-preferred leg.
Luke Power and the Blues watch on. They've come from 26 points down at three-quarter time. Can they get in front? Carl, a good tackle. The release from McDowell White found Tunstall. Smith needs a mark to try and just buy them some relief. Can't find it. Cincotta in there working hard. Aquay wins the football. Quick release. Cincotta throws his boot at it. It might work for Trudgeon. Play on the call. Didn't go the required distance. Ramshaw's got to stand and wait. Does so. Flips it back inside. Feels like a big ball to win this one. And Brisbane win it. Revel gets it forward. Buzzer's got a couple to beat. And Kemp can link up with Durden. Can he hit a target?
Oh, dangerous kick, but he's absolutely kicked it to perfection.
And Hayes now has to hold up a little. Not a lot on.
Heart in the mouth moment there.
Lovely kick towards Stocker, just sailed in him a little and out of bounds.
And a few of those occasions today, hasn't it? A really nice kick off the boot, but the wind gets hold of that heavy ball and it just skids into the fence.
So now it's an arm wrestle. Nothing else matters. The fact that they were 26 points down, Brisbane, they've managed to stabilise the situation. Now it's just a 50-50.
And you want to manage your interchange as well pretty well here, because you don't want some of your better players off the ground. You know there's going to be a lot of stoppages. It's going to be hard to get them back on.
Blues with all the territory in the last term. Brisbane just need one shot. Cockatoo over the back. Leicester goes off the deck. Is this their chance? Durden back with danger. Gets past Coleman. Murkoff can't get down. Hayes can. It's slapped out. Big ball to win again in the middle of the ground. Fullerton puts his frame over it. Revel does the same. Dow tries to win it out. Gets it to Stocker. Rides a tackle. Wins a free kick.
Every ball is a big ball to win. Stocker, the scores are level. You want to get the ball on the boot.
And he does. He takes territory. Crocker will come out.
Right.
Big fist away from Green. Smith stands underneath it. Could have taken possession. Punches it clear. Crocker goes at Tunstall. Got the advantage. It's Green over the head of Ramshaw. Chance for Lohman if he can collect it. He can't. He goes to ground. Ramshaw there. Lohman there. Underneath both of them. It's flipped out in the Leicester direction. He steps past Hayes. Run down by Ramshaw. Smith's hand's a little hot there for Lohman. Comes out to Cincotta. Now off to Kemp. Kemp will kick towards centre half forward. Lou looks to set his feet. It gets over the back. Big win. Mark taken by Uosis.
And the pressure's just building a little bit. Lohman was a little bit fumbly on 2 occasions on the wing.
Tunstall has it. 27 minutes gone. We'll play extra time if we get there and scores are still level. Barry, Smith. Is this Brisbane's chance? Cockatoo couldn't complete the grab. Dow again. Kemp couldn't complete the handball. Cincotta went down to try and get it. It is desperate in there at the moment. Madden's run down by Radovanovic.
One kick, this stoppage. This is the biggest stoppage of the game. If Brisbane can win it and get it forward, it's going to be huge.
So first half extra time, 3 minutes plus time on. They change ends, play another 3 minutes if we get there. After a 6-minute break where the coaches can come on the field. Aberley, high, up and under, off the hands of Dow. Here's a chance maybe for Brisbane. Tunstall, they surge it forward, just need a score. Kick comes from Cox. And it felt like all quarter, Brisbane just needed one chance. Blues have had plenty and blown plenty. Now a chance for Brisbane through Lyons.
It's their second inside 50 of the quarter.
And Jared Lyons hasn't touched the footy this quarter. He's played predominantly forward. You'd imagine the heat of the moment that they've had to keep him out there and try and keep their best players involved, even if it is out of position.
Carlton have kicked 3-8 for the term. Brisbane haven't scored. We hit the 28.5-minute mark. Huge kick for Jared Lyons. Is it going to get there? Not quite.
It hasn't
and Murkoff
scored.
did really well. Normally in this situation, you just rush it through. That was good thinking from the big man.
Unbelievable.
Huge. I mean, it was on target and they've kept it alive. There can't be too long left.
What a stoppage this is.
Only 5 Carlton players outside the 50 here. This should be a free kick. It's not. That rule is officially gone.
Murkoff. Blues need to be tidy here. Can they win a stoppage and get it clear? They just need a score. McDowell wide, gets it there. Again down, Durden stops it. It's still alive. We're going to check.
There's no...
It's a free kick, Brisbane. No.
There's no
Just wants the
arc
football.
here. So whatever this goal umpire says...
Here's another look. A well-played Durden.
I say a goal. They're home. Wow.
We'll need another look at that.
Will Hayes adamant. White was the player. He's kicked 2 miraculous goals this afternoon. And
here's another look.
The replay. It's
umpire in perfect position.
Durden. Who's the man?
Gee, there can't have been much in it. From this angle, looked like he kept it alive. Obviously the goal umpire right there in the best spot. Remember, the whole of the ball has to go right across the line.
I don't know about the potential free kick, Brownie.
We'll never... No, there was no free kick. We'll never be able to make a call on it from up here. But
so we've hit 30 minutes. Brisbane back in front by a straight kick. Can the Blues get a clearance and drive it forward? They've kicked 3-8 for the term, Carlton. Absolutely dominated inside 50s, but been wasteful. Murkov just thumps it forward. Can Carlton get on the end of it? They can. North's just got to get it in. Needed to put it on the boot and didn't. Gave it to Hayes. It's hacked out of there. Coming through was Ramshaw. Here's a chance for Smith. He gives it off to Tunstall. He can finish it here. Handball McDowell White. Pops it over the top. Open goal coming up. Smith. Brisbane go bang bang.
They had their moments, Jace. The Tom North moment again. If he could have just surged it forward and found a way to put it inside forward 50, they would have got another opportunity. Unfortunately, over handball. It's been something they've done across the 120 minutes at times. Just too heavy for Will Hayes. All the numbers that emptied forward for Carlton, and from there it was all risk. And the reward goes back the other way. A bit of composure by Tunstall and a nice finish in the end to put the game to bed.
It's always the little things in big finals, isn't it? The little moments, and the Blues will look back and go, if only we'd got that bit right and that bit right. They've been magnificent in the final term, Carlton, but Brisbane have responded when it matters most. Murkov the tap. Cox couldn't clear it, was happy to hold it in. Carroll couldn't. And the Brisbane Lions progress to the Final Four. It was a nervous one, but they bounced back from their loss to Southport and booked themselves a preliminary final with Casey in Melbourne next weekend. Brisbane 11-6-72, defeat Carlton 8-12-60. The Blues coming from 26 points down at three-quarter time to draw level